in terms of leads. Now, we are still at that phase of the elections where the leads are very, very early. These are postal ballots gradually being transferred onto ballots. Remember, postal ballots account for just about 0.5% of all ballots. But as time goes on, it is now 10 o'clock. We will be seeing preliminary trends with a view to the larger election. In the state of Madhya Pradesh right now, the real story is that what was seen to be a very close election, if these are postal ballots and a few ballots coming in terms of leads, the Congress down 15 over here in a state where they were expected to do quite well. The BJP up 19. Remember the magic mark, 116, the BJP already at 128. Let's quickly keep going through the states and these early patterns, early trends, as it were. In Rajasthan, the BJP again crossing the 100 mark. The majority mark is 100 exactly in Rajasthan. They're at 109, and just look at this, up 36. The Congress down 24. For those who felt that this would really tell a story of where the Hindi heartland, or what the Hindi heartland is thinking ahead of 2024, some initial patterns might be visible over here. The Congress down 24 at 76. Even if these are postal ballots, all of them, the Congress would be disappointed with this. What's happening over here in Chhattisgarh, somewhat more along expected lines for the Congress. They are above the majority mark of 46. But again, early days, early votes. They are down 11, however, and that is the key factor over here. The BJP up 18. As we've been trying to establish over the last period of time, it is the huge outreach to the ST group, which could be a factor, not necessarily just the scheme, 24,000 crores announced on the 15th of November by the BJP in Jharkhand. It could be the effort of the BJP in these areas over a sustained period of time. Was the Congress getting complacent? Finally, one of the most interesting, I would say the most interesting, but that's a bit controversial, I take that back. One of the most interesting states, Telangana, and yes, it is the BRS which is down 48 at this stage, the Congress up 47. And what is really interesting over here, if this pattern actually continues to emerge, is that 20% gap which actually existed between the BRS and the Congress seems to be on course to actually ensuring that they come out on tops. Yes. Let me go across to Sanjay as well. Go ahead, Maria.
Yes, yeah. A quick word also on this. In 2018, the last time, because KCR had preponed the elections by 6 months, the BJP had won.
That's
and if you speak to any of the BJP leaders, they were saying that they would be somewhere between 5 and 10. So if it actually consolidates, they do not have completely, bleak picture even coming from this state. But coming to Sanjay sir, who is here in the studio. Sir, among all the states, 4 states that we have on our television screens, which is the number that you're watching very, very closely?
Rajasthan first, and then Madhya Pradesh. Very simple. If you zoom back, then the learning is politics of accommodation and assertiveness by BJP has won. And these 2 words we will examine for Congress in a different context. What has happened in Rajasthan? हम लोग ये कहते रहे मारिया कि वसुंधरा वाला इशू है, क्या करेंगे, कैसे करेंगे, लेकिन वहाँ टिकट जब बांटी तो सब लोगों को इन्होंने अकोमोडेट किया. कांग्रेस हाईकमान ने क्या किया कि हम कुछ टिकटों को बदल देंगे. अब देखिए 40% के वोट शेयर के आसपास हैं दोनों पार्टियां, और वहां पर आप ये देख रहे हैं कि सीट का डिफरेंस कितना है. क्यों है? क्योंकि आप लेट से टिकट बांटेंगे, आप अनिश्चित रहेंगे, आप ये बताना चाहेंगे कि हाईकमान की चलती है, तो गहलोत के रिकमेंडेशन को नहीं मानेंगे, और उसकी वजह से ये जो नंबर है आपके सामने है. यानी कांग्रेस जीती हुई लड़ाई को कैसे हारे, ये राजस्थान एक बार फिर से एग्जिबिट बन के आपके सामने आया है. इसी तरीके से मध्य प्रदेश को देखिए, वहाँ पर मोदी फैक्टर को समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है. एकदम अचानक आपने देखा कि बड़े नेताओं को चुनाव में उतार दिया गया. वहाँ पर आपने तुरंत देखा कि कैंपेनिंग किस तरह से मोदी जी जो हमेशा करते हैं, फिर उन्होंने ज़्यादा की. शिवराज की जो लाडली बहना स्कीम थी वो इस तरह से चल गई कि लाडली मामा आपको सामने दिख रहा है, 4th टाइम इनकम्बेंसी के माहौल में। तो बीजेपी का जो प्लेबुक है वो और बहुत ज़्यादा इम्प्रोवाइज हो गया है। कांग्रेस उस प्लेबुक को देर से कॉपी करने निकलती है और गलतियां कैसे करती हैं कि कमलनाथ को थोड़ा सा एक फ्रीडम मिला, लेकिन उस फ्रीडम के बावजूद उनको लगा कि हिंदुत्व की कार्बन कॉपी से हमारा काम चल जाएगा। उनको लगा कि फ्रीबीज की स्कीम से, क्योंकि डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफ़र बीजेपी के लिए बहुत चलता है, उनके लिए चल जाएगा, ऐसा मानते हुए उन्होंने उसको कॉपी किया। तो कॉपी नहीं चलेगा, उनके पास कोई नया स्क्रिप्ट नहीं था, कोई नई रेसिपी नहीं थी। इसलिए दोनों जगह जहां कांग्रेस और बीजेपी मुकाबले में है, और ये कांग्रेस के लिए बड़ी लर्निंग है कि जहां ये दोनों पार्टियां आपस में डायरेक्ट फाइट में हैं, वहां ये क्यों हारती है, ये लर्निंग उनको देखने की जरूरत है। बीजेपी क्यों जीतती है, कीवर्ड assertiveness और accommodation.
Sanjay, I would suggest that the issue of... Sorry, go ahead.
30 seconds, just to take this forward. जब भाजपा ने 3 सेंट्रल मिनिस्टर, 4 एमपीज और 1 जनरल सेक्रेटरी को मध्य प्रदेश में उतारा कैलाश विजयवर्गीय के शक्ल में, और उसी तरह से 5 से 7 एमपीज उतारे राजस्थान में, तो ये बोला गया कि नर्वस थी भाजपा। उसके अलावा कलेक्टिव लीडरशिप की कोई चेहरे पे नहीं, मोदी जी एंड अदर लीडर्स पे गई। तो ऐसा क्या सब
बीजेपी म्युनिसिपैलिटी चुनाव में भी इतना ही नर्वस रहती है। यही तो खास बात है बीजेपी की कि हर चुनाव को वो लोग बहुत सीरियसली लेते हैं। यही एंजाइटी और नर्वसनेस के कारण वो एकोमोडेट करते हैं, वो पूरी ताकत लगाते हैं। और जो बीजेपी के लिए मध्य प्रदेश का इलेक्शन कहते थे ना, थकान हो गई है, उस थकान को बदलने के लिए एक लोकल स्टेट असेंबली इलेक्शन को नेशनल लीडर्स को उतार करके नेशनल फ्लेवर क्रिएट करने की कोशिश की। उनके लिए ये सेमीफाइनल का रिहर्सल था जो बहुत अच्छे से कामयाब हो गया।
नेशनल फ्लेवर की अगेन जो आप बात कर रहे हैं, कलेक्टिव लीडरशिप एक तरफ थी, हमेशा बोला जाता है चेहरे पर चुनाव होता है, स्टेट इलेक्शन में वोकल फॉर लोकल होता है, कलेक्टिव लीडरशिप था, फिर वोकल फॉर लोकल किधर गया?
वोकल फॉर लोकल में मुझे लगता है कि वो एक ज़रूरी है बात कहना, क्योंकि आपको लगता है कि ये ना लगे लोगों को कि सीएम का कैंडिडेट इनके पास नहीं है, उसको प्रोजेक्ट नहीं कर सकते। लेकिन नेशनल फैक्टर इस तरह का है, जो नंबर भी हमको बताते हैं, हमारे यहाँ ओपिनियन पोल जब हमने पहले करवाया था, कि कई जगह अगर एंटी इनकम्बेंसी है भी तो मोदी फैक्टर के कारण वो कवर हो जाती है। तो वो लोकल वोकल का चक्कर है, ठीक है, लेकिन ओवरआर्चिंग थीम जो मोदी है उसको, उसका जो प्रीमियम है वो सब जगह इनको मिलता है। विष्णु कुछ पूछना चाहते?
I just wanted to ask you a key question on corruption. Now, corruption has been a huge issue as far as Rajasthan is concerned. The BJP has been consistently saying that this is an issue which the Congress has no answers for at all over there. The fact that you had a red diary which was flung around in the state assembly, is this not an issue which is really potentially stuck in the minds of voters?
I would differ as far as Rajasthan is concerned. Corruption, the way it has worked in Telangana, and we will talk about it later. What strikes out of Rajasthan is the emergence of Ashok Gehlot as a cult figure. Ashok Gehlot, who says, I don't want to become Congress president, I will stay as chief minister. Ashok Gehlot, who fights the revolt, the sabotage within the party. Ashok Gehlot, who, despite being loyalist, asserts himself, which is unimaginable. Corruption tag on Ashok Gehlot has actually not stuck. What has stuck? That he started late to copy Modi playbook of direct benefit transfer. Then his communication again faltered because you cannot match BJP's communication skills. And then you decided on tickets at a time when candidate did not get a good space to campaign. I would say, if at all Congress has got this damage, it is because of the confusion and the vacillation at the level of the Delhi leadership, number one. Number two, the communication at rural level. If we look at the data, and I don't have every number currently with me, I see that rural voters in Rajasthan has not supported Ashok Gehlot the way he would have planned and expected for.
Let's just quickly go across to Supriya Shrinet, who also joins us at this stage. Supriya, you know, you can still argue that these are early stages, but you know, time is going on. Madhya Pradesh, one would suggest that this is a state where the Congress expected to do very well. Are you disappointed at seeing some of the trends so far?
So let's start the day on a more positive note, and let's talk about what encourages us than disappointment first up. So thank you for having me on the show. And I think I would first want to explain how I read these numbers so far. I still think we should wait up until 12 noon for the leads to be clarified. These are early rounds. I think us wresting a state from a regional party like the BRS is huge news. So everybody, and remember, the regional parties and the emergence of regional parties is a function and was done at our cost. So I think winning Telangana the way we are winning it, hands down, I will still wait for the final leads from there by 12 noon is huge. And I think that's the big headline. I think Chhattisgarh, where the BJP employed every possible dirty trick, is big encouragement. The fact that we've already crossed the halfway mark there and we are in a comfortable position is very, very big. I think the pro-incumbency there is talking aloud. I will also speak about Rajasthan. Even though right now it looks like we are trailing, I will say the fact that this is perhaps one of the best elections that we fought for a second time in a row in Rajasthan. This is one of our best performances. People who are dissing us at 20 or 30 will be in for a surprise. And I do believe that the tide will completely turn in Rajasthan. I'm still very, very hopeful about that.
And what about Madhya Pradesh, where the gap is significant at this stage?
Vishnu, I have spoken about 3 states. I will come to the 4th. Be rest assured. Don't jump the gun. So I am very hopeful about Rajasthan. Yeah, so I'm very hopeful about Rajasthan turning, and I'm also very happy with the fact that our schemes have worked. This vote is for our schemes. This vote is for the governance that we put there. As far as Madhya Pradesh is concerned, again, I say I will wait for the final tally. But yes, Madhya Pradesh is disappointing as far as these numbers are concerned, because it was ripe for change. It was ripe for, a big margin for us. That hasn't happened. It's almost 130 versus 100 for us right now. Let's also wait for the final tally there. But I think Madhya Pradesh is disappointing. However, there is one more thing that I would like to read into Madhya Pradesh, and I think that's a question more for the BJP than for the Congress. How happy is Mr. Modi going to be by winning Madhya Pradesh? Because that does put Mr. Shivraj Singh Chouhan in a very, very strong, commendable position.
Well, I would suggest, Supriya, anybody who wins any state would be happy, but I'll take that question across to Pratyush Kant of the BJP, who's with us. Pratyush, how would you look at the overall situation right now? Let's talk about Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan first. The BJP appears to be doing quite well at this stage. Is this perhaps better at this stage than you had expected?
I think the numbers will go higher for us in both the states. Right now what it's showing. But the biggest achievement for us have been that the magical wand which Gehlotji had has been demolished by us. You know, the corruption, those 14 paper leaks, every strata of society in Rajasthan was affected by the Gehlot government. And our workers, and we are, a very organized party, structure-based party, we have managed to take it across to the villages, to the poorest of the poor, and establish that how corrupt he was. Eventually, when you see well past noon time, you will see that the numbers will be much more higher for us Rajasthan. Farmers, women, 21% crime rate all over the country, only in Rajasthan. We were able to put across those figures very strongly to the people. And that is why you see we have managed to demolish. And development. People see that how development has gone to other states, BJP-ruled states, and then we come to Madhya Pradesh, 20 years on, we are still doing so well because, again, we are not a family-run party. We are a party-run organization. That's why you will see we are so deeply embedded. It comes at the subaltern level for us there. And that is why we are doing so well in Madhya Pradesh. Development, the schemes that were launched, all those things are paying dividends to us right now.
It's more disappointment coming for the Congress party, particularly in the state of Madhya Pradesh. And if you look at the numbers, the gap between the Congress and the BJP is substantive now, almost 46. I'm coming to you again, Sanjay sir. When we look at these numbers, it's complete disappointment for the Congress now.
Absolutely. And the problem is Congress party has not lost vote share in Madhya Pradesh this time again. So is the story about Rajasthan. So the atmosphere is ripe. Anti-incumbency was there for Shivraj Singh Chouhan. Kamal Nath is the tallest leader. You ran a good campaign. You did a Bharat Jodo. You thought there is a great traction that your party is gaining, and still you lose. You do not lose because people are not willing to vote for you. You lose because the last mile run that you have to complete, you actually go breathless, and you are not able to complete that exercise where BJP beats you completely all the time consistently, which is getting your supporters to vote.
All right, what we're going to actually do now is take a look at some of the key. Look at this. In Chhindwara in Madhya Pradesh, we've got Kamal Nath presently trailing. In Budni, we've got Shivraj Singh Chouhan leading so far.
Since 1983,
so this is earlier on in the day, and this is interesting, Sanjay Singh, the Congress party had cutouts, or they still have cutouts of Kamal Nath in their office in Madhya Pradesh, basically saying, in Bhopal, essentially saying that, look, this is the Chief Minister and it's been pre-decided. He is now trailing.
About an hour ago, Kamal Nath actually spoke to the reporters and he practically had declared his victory. The interesting thing here is, unlike this time around, Congress fought all these elections. Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh in presidential style. You have Kamal Nath trailing here. You have Baghel trailing in Chhattisgarh. And
8 of the ministers of Gehlot government are trailing in the state of Rajasthan.
And Digvijay Singh's son also trailing in Madhya Pradesh. So that is Digvijay Singh-Kamal Nath combo has not worked. In fact, that has been detrimental to the organizational and...
Just to be on the side of caution, is it a bit early to really depend on this trailing result, because it may change for Kamal Nath?
Yes, absolutely. It's 2 hours. And it's 14 more rounds in all, because, you know, in these assembly elections, there are 14 rounds.
What can we infer at this stage?
If these trends are going to stabilize, I think in next half an hour, these trends are going to stabilize, unless there is some magical change. Because now this is holding consistent since morning. If this was to change dramatically, this should have happened by now. But if this holds for another half an hour, then perhaps this trend is going to continue.
So basically,
Congress when does this start becoming a trend?
See, post-noon. See, Congress won all the 3 states on combined leadership in 2018.
BJP
and it has moved to a presidential contest, while BJP has moved to a combined leadership.
So may I raise a question on this presidential style, you know, the BJP's, Congress's decision to promote local leaders and so on, because this was a Karnataka template which worked very well for them. But if you look at the leadership in Madhya Pradesh, both Kamal Nath and Digvijay Singh, they are of 1980 vintage. I mean, Kamal Nath first came on in 1977. You know, Digvijay Singh in 1980. You know, that's like 30, 40 years ago. You know, they are both 75
no, but
plus.
the question is,
so,
what worked for Siddaramaiah in Karnataka is not working for Kamal Nath in the state of Madhya Pradesh.
Two faces. Siddaramaiah Kuruba leader, Ahinda leader, plus Vokkaliga vote from JDS.
That's right. And younger leadership, much more energy on the ground. Shiva Kumar's organizational skills.
And perhaps,
you know, I'm sorry,
Karnataka acceptability of Siddaramaiah. In this place, you have Mr. Kamal Nath, who's largely acceptable in Chhindwara. So that is a matter of
time. If the thing is correct, then maybe not even in Chhindwara.
No, a quick FAQ question. In terms of if these results hold out, you're talking of Ashok Gehlot there, the old guard there. You've been struggling to change. There is an internal this one.
Absolutely.
Here in Madhya Pradesh, again, you're pointing out to the old guard.
Yes.
What if these results hold out? What is the end consequence?
So,
but then in Rajasthan, Sachin Pilot was training. I don't know about current situation. Sometime 15, 20 minutes
The points you all are raising, actually that calls for another structured debate in this studio today. Congress problem is not a political problem. Congress problem is interpersonal HR management problem, and that continues for decades. And I think we need to really order some PhD and some research.
I'll tell you what has been ordered, the laddus. These are shots from the BJP office in Jaipur, which are coming in now. As far as they are concerned, they're winning these elections.
And it's convincing victory. Just look at those numbers that are coming in from Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. 137 is huge for Madhya Pradesh. It's almost similar to what the BJP had won
These images
in
from Jaipur,
2013.
Maria. These images from Jaipur. Let's take a look quickly
Maria,
at
are
the
you
Rajasthan.
calling the elections already?
No, I'm not calling the elections. I'm saying 10-15, it's very early. But if we were to look at the numbers.
Sorry. This rider is very important. That as of now, these trends may change. So what we are talking is that we are trying to analyze the result as they are currently on our screen. But to kind of bring a kind of conclusion to this conversation, can we have a quick opinion from everyone in the studio on Madhya Pradesh first? What has gone wrong for Congress?
See, Kamal Nath is the strength as well as the weakness, I've already said. Always said. 76 years of age. How will he attract youth voters towards the Congress party? That's number one. And Maria mentioned, BJP accepted and realized very early that they are behind. That's why they decided on the candidates in August, local for vocal.
And everybody started thinking that BJP nervous hai. BJP nervous nahi hai. They were coming up with a new strategy for the state. Much before the model code of conduct, they had the numbers out.
Nervous थी, लेकिन accept किया कि nervous है. हार रहे हैं और किया उसने.
Veera?
I think anti-incumbency cannot be a factor you can take for granted, A. And B, there is a change of guard at some level in terms of leadership that's required. You know, you can't expect the old formula to continue working. I think that's possibly the example, because I don't follow Madhya Pradesh very closely, but every Congress leader I've spoken to in Telangana told me 125 to aa hi jayega sir Madhya Pradesh mein. We will come to 125. Somewhere I think that thing that they could create in Telangana, the narrative, and I just make one point, there is a north-south divide here. Congress seems to have a better HR management in the south. Somehow in the north, it may be struggling at this stage.
Sanjay sir, I think the Congress leadership sitting in Delhi is not able to say no to the dyed-in-the-wool Congress leaders, be it Ashok Gehlot or Mr. Kamal Nath. There was a Jeetu Patwari factor. If they could have done something surprising, it may have worked. Sunil Konogulu, who almost managed the entire Congress war room in Telangana, was not given any free hand in the state of Madhya Pradesh. Mr. Kamal Nath was running the entire campaign on his own.
Same in Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh.
Even Mr. Kharge was away, more invested in Telangana than you were in Madhya Pradesh.
I would suggest what has taken place in Madhya Pradesh is what the BJP has done in Gujarat. This is, in a sense, the machinery of the BJP, which has been mastered over elections in Gujarat, playing out in Madhya Pradesh, where at so many levels people felt that the Congress would do better. If you've got this machinery re-established in the state of Madhya Pradesh, it indicates that A, there is a leadership crisis of the Congress party, and B, at the grassroots level, the organization of the BJP is unmatched in the state. And I think Veera makes an important point. Where is the organization of the Congress in Madhya Pradesh? It was brilliant in Karnataka. It is nowhere to be seen over here.
Absolutely. What it does to Shivraj Singh Chouhan, Aarti?
So this is, I think, the million-dollar question that will be asked once the results come in, and if the BJP, if these trends hold and the BJP actually touches that 140, 150 mark that some exit polls predicted. Will the victory be credited to Mamaji and his Ladli Behna scheme, or will the victory be credited to the central leadership's decision to go with a collective leadership, to not project a face, to send some of their stalwarts from Delhi back to Madhya Pradesh, and try to create try to overcome anti-incumbency by giving some freshness to their campaign.
Okay, we've got Shivraj Chouhan. Just hold on for half a second, Geeta ji and Aarti. We've got Shivraj Singh Chouhan. We're just speaking about him, speaking now.
याद आती है तो हम कांप उठते हैं MIC गैस के कारण, गैस के रिसाव के कारण हजारों भाई बहन, जिनमें हमारे छोटे छोटे बच्चे शामिल थे, उन्होंने अपनी जिंदगी खो दी, असमय काल के गाल में समा गए। भोपाल का वो दृश्य भूलता नहीं है जब सड़कों पर अपनी जान बचाने अपने बच्चों को लेकर।
We'll come back to that in a moment. He's speaking about the Bhopal gas tragedy. I believe the anniversary was yesterday. But sorry, yes.
Shivraj Singh Chouhan. But one point I want to add is that although it's going to be $1 million question, personally I feel that this is the end of the road for Shivraj Singh Chouhan. I think the central leadership will have to accommodate him in some way, but I do not think that they will make him the chief minister.
लाडला मामा फिर से मुख्यमंत्री बनेगा।
देखिए संजय जी, ये कह सकते हैं कि जो उनके द्वारा जो भी पहले जो खास करके महिलाओं को लेकर जो कल्याणकारी योजनाएं लाई गई, उन्होंने एक अपनी बड़ी छाप छोड़ी है. And we must acknowledge that, you know, women as a voting section,
Absolutely.
you know, above caste, creed, religion, has come up because of the welfare schemes that were that have been implemented very well in Madhya Pradesh. So that credit goes to Shivraj Chouhan, and definitely, I mean, I think it's the central leadership will take a call on how, you know, he is going to be positioned,
Sanjay ji,
whether in state
but
or
with this kind of result and the current context, even though big leaders were sent and Modi ji campaigned and Shivraj Singh Chouhan has a certain standing, but this fourth time victory almost guarantees that he should be again the chief minister.
Guarantee, now that word is in coinage for various reasons. Everybody is talking in terms of guarantee. बट इसमें मोदी की गारंटी क्या है वो हमें देखना होगा. सो बट शिवराज सिंह चौहान ऑफ कोर्स हैज एन एडवांटेज. Madhya Pradesh has emerged as second state after Gujarat for the BJP, where they are very strongly rooted on the ground and also kind of taking it higher and higher. The central leaders who had been sent from here to fight elections in Madhya Pradesh, unfortunately, two of them as of now are trailing, Narendra Singh Tomar and Fagan Singh Kulaste. Though in their area, their respective area, Fagan Singh Kulaste, it was said, had done some very good work, and he was mobilizing people at the same time. What it says about Modi ke man mein MP, MP ke man mein Modi, how that translates actually into the picture in days to come, when Modi ke man mein MP, to whether that will be Shivraj Singh Chouhan. But that is again a very interesting situation when you have a plethora of issues. Shivraj Singh Chouhan, of course, very popular across the state, particularly among women. Women, I have also noticed, they are not just a voting bloc on their own. They have an entirely different set of thinking than being guided by family members, male members in the family. Shivraj Singh Chouhan scores there. Also, when you go for collective leadership, people who were BJP supporters or voters, but at the same time were not very happy with Shivraj Singh Chouhan for various reasons. Some even said Shivraj Singh Chouhan backward ki politics काफी ज़्यादा करते हैं. Therefore, they were not happy. And therefore, when you open this leadership question that somebody else can become BJP leader or the chief minister, that voter does not go away to Congress, that sticks to you.
Vishnu, is Shankar Iyer still with us?
We've got Shankar Iyer with us. In fact, I wanted to go across to Shankar next. I think, Shankar, despite all of the polls, some of the polls suggesting that the Congress would actually do reasonably well in Madhya Pradesh, the fact of the matter is it is the BJP which appears to have pushed ahead decisively. Perhaps some of the polls or some of the analysts didn't take into account the fact that the BJP has maintained a 40% share over here for a long period of time. That jumped to 54% in the last Lok Sabha elections. Other than 2008, when Uma Bharti started her own party, they have a huge base here. Would you agree that this base of the BJP in Madhya Pradesh is taking them to a likely victory in the state?
Well, everybody sort of thinking that Gujarat is the original template of BJP politics. BJP established its presence in Madhya Pradesh first, Sundarlal Patwar's government. It's another matter that a playbook of Gujarat, for instance, about tribal vote, the Vanvasi work that RSS had started in Gujarat, in Banaskantha area and others, has now been taken across the Hindi belt. So those practices have paid off. The question about that how BJP has consolidated is really BJP's electoral machinery, everything that they throw into it. The difference between the Congress and the BJP is the Congress plays the match like a T20 match, and that too they think if they have done well in the power play, they will win the match. The BJP organization fears defeat, and therefore they will play till the last ball. And that's the crucial difference, that amount, the detailing that Maria and others mentioned about Birsa Munda, about the temple visit, about the announcement, the timing of the announcement, all of those matter. But what matters is the ground machinery. The Congress, I think, declared victory before the match.
Yes.
If taking Shankar's audio is giving some trouble, Shankar, sorry. Just to take this argument forward, Sanjay ji se bhi main jo baat kar raha tha, Amitabh, if I come to you, my question is, actually there was an anti-incumbency, there was a tiredness in Madhya Pradesh. It is only Modi's strategy, many would argue, that changed the game, and this is what you get.
So essentially, what BJP did is that it went for local for vocal, initial candidates, then did not project Shivraj as CM. So there was a buzz of Parivartan. But Parivartan किससे? मामा जी से या बीजेपी की सरकार से? दो बातें थी. बीजेपी का हार्डकोर वोटर भी कुछ लोग कह रहे थे कि मामा जी को नहीं बनाया जाए. Correct. And then the Modi factor added on layer. 7% people in Madhya Pradesh are voting for BJP because of Modi. And 7% perhaps is not even the vote share gap between BJP and Congress.
Right.
Congress is structurally weak here. Just like Gujarat. 74 seats it has never won in MP in the last 3 elections, which means Congress needs to win 116 out of 160. That is why all opinion polls were saying that they could not cross 125. Any opinion poll, exit poll you see.
But Sanjay sir, look at the numbers. If these numbers hold, it's actually bigger than 2013. 140 is something even that the BJP has never got in the past.
And the outlier is going correct.
Yeah, the outliers
is going
are
correct.
actually proving it right. And coming to the question of Shivraj Singh Chouhan, I'll just give a quick update. You know, I was in Ujjain, and the sense that we did get was that we are going for the BJP. I voted for the BJP in 2013, 2018. There were a lot of young boys that I spoke to, first-time voters, and they said, then I said that, you know, why is this confusion? Why is Shivraj not the face? They actually made a virtue out of this confusion, saying, Pradhan Mantri ne to ye bola ki isme se koi bhi ho sakta hai. So I think that confusion may have actually been the counter to the fatigue.
Bilkul.
No, so my own feeling why I feel that Shivraj will not be the next chief minister is that if the BJP actually hits what the outlier poll said, 150, 151, 157, this is not just because of Mamaji and the Ladli Behna. This is obviously, a measure of the kind of strategy that the central leadership put in place for Madhya Pradesh. So I think a large part of the credit has to go for
exactly. असल बात यही है कि जनमत एक चीज होती है, इलेक्शन लड़ने की मेहनत एक चीज होती है,
बिल्कुल.
चुनाव दर चुनाव बीजेपी लर्निंग दे रही है अपने प्लेबुक से, और अपोजिशन ऐसा है कि उसको कॉपी करना भी नहीं आता. तो इंडियन डेमोक्रेसी को अगर डेंजर है तो अपोजिशन से है.
So that is the BJP's, sort of remarkable trait, that it is so agile. It changes its strategy from election to election, from state to state. It does not have one single. That's what it's agile. It's agile. It is thinking all the time. It doesn't have one standard playbook.
And I think it's
Congress took Karnataka. Congress took Karnataka template and said we transfer it to Madhya Pradesh. नहीं होता है.
गुजरात में उन्होंने क्या किया? पूरा का पूरा घर के सारे बदल डालो. And then नरेंद्र से ज्यादा भूपेंद्र को सीटें आएंगी.
Can I just ask?
In MP, same thing. मोदी के मन में MP, MP के मन में मोदी. This part of this vote is...
Sanjay, we've got a graphic on our screen right now, and let's just talk about this. Whoever wins the Malwa region of Madhya Pradesh tends to win the state.
Yes.
And if you look at the Congress, they are down 10, and look at the BJP up 13 at 53 over here. It's
And
this part
interesting.
of Madhya Pradesh which will prove definitive. If these trends actually end up becoming results, this is huge. Amitabh, why is Malwa so significant? It's what, 88 seats?
88, so it's like one-third, more than 40% of this. And if you see last time, Congress was leading here, 45-40. And that was the gap which Congress enjoyed eventually in the final
was leading
time.
over here last time
5 seats. And that was the gap between Congress and BJP.
And that is flipped this time.
So Mansoor firing damaged the BJP last time in this region. And the ST belt the work done by the BJP.
Okay, now the images we have on our screen now are of celebrations which are coming in from Telangana. We haven't spoken enough about Telangana right now.
About Telangana.
Let's just, which party? Okay, these are Congress
These are all Congress celebrations and the ones you see on your screens there.
In Telangana. Go ahead.
One of it is Madhu Yashki Gaud. This is outside the Congress office. Obviously, it's a fascinating state. I think, you know, if these numbers hold, and I look, they're going up to 70. Most Congress leaders were talking about 74. Kharge told me when I met him in Hyderabad, we don't just want to win, we need to win comfortably. Because remember, last time, 18 Congress MLAs, 2 of them, in fact, Sudhir Reddy is a fascinating character at LB Nagar who fought against Madhu Yashki Gaud. You go into Sudhir Reddy's office, you see YSR Reddy's photo on one side and K. Chandrasekhar Rao's photo on the other. He's somebody who grew in the Congress through Padyatra with YSR Reddy and then shifted over to the BRS, and he says there was no leader in the Congress. And the interesting story that he told me is that we were the original party of Reddys. We needed to import a TDP Reddy to lead us. Revant Reddy is originally from TDP. He moves in 2017. So it's a fascinating image there in Telangana Congress office. And remember, 10 years, in 2014, was the first election after the announcement but not formation of the state. In 2014, I think Uma, we can go across to
Uma really quickly. Uma, we've got these celebration shots behind you. The Congress, it appears, has declared victory almost. Is that the sense that you're also getting?
Yes, indeed, Vishnu. Much before these results start coming in or leads start coming in itself, the Congress extremely confident. In fact, many of those leaders were telling us that if we don't get 80, Komti Reddy, Venkat Reddy, in fact, said that to us, saying that if we don't get 80, I will resign my post, and therefore now he can probably, feel complacent about what he had said to us. But what I must also point out is very interesting that the Congress is doing very, very well. That is very obvious. But the fact also is that the BJP seems to be doing well in the old city areas, in the Nizamabad area, so that, in those areas where you actually have a significant Muslim population. So if you're talking about the Hindutva card that the BJP may be using, it does seem to be working because in several areas of the old city, the constituencies of the MIM, whether it is Bahadurpura or Charminar, and then you have Nizamabad urban, Nizamabad rural, Armoor, all those areas where there's a significant Muslim population there, the BJP seems to be in the lead as well. And if they are in the lead in double digits, they should be happy about the kind of performance that they have had in these elections. The other interesting aspect, of course, is the key candidate, the CM, in fact, trailing in Kama Reddy, where it was, in fact, a tri-cornered contest. It is a tri-cornered contest where Revant Reddy is there, the CM is there, and also Venkatram Reddy, the BJP candidate. He has been someone who's been campaigning, saying that I am the local. Both these, if you vote either for Revant Reddy or for KCR, you're going to have a by-election again, and they're not going to be locals, whereas I am someone who has worked here. So certainly a reality check for Chief Minister KCR, who was, has been saying till late last night or even this morning, saying that they are confident of a victory here. So things not looking good for the BRS at all. And I must also point out that districts like Nalgonda, which, yes, we had expected a clean sweep for the Congress, and it does appear that they are having a clean sweep there. Only Khammam district, if I may point out, has been Congress strong. Only one seat that the BRS had won there. There it may be taking up a second seat. As of now, CPI, the only other party with which the Congress had an alliance in Kottagudem, CPI seems to be leading in Kottagudem in the Khammam district.
All right. Uma, we're going to move from celebration shots in Telangana to celebration shots in Jaipur right now. Let's just go across to NDTV's Vedant, who's also with us. And the celebration shots we can show you are from the BJP office. Vedant, go ahead. What's happening around you?
Well, Vishnu, I come to you from right outside Diya Kumari's office, and well, dhols are out, so are BJP flags here, celebration. But of course, when we were on the campaign trail with Diya Kumari, she was pretty confident that she will win her seat here in Jaipur. Of course, the princess that owns the city palace here in Jaipur, she has a decisive lead now, and let me say that she could be perhaps possible front runner as far as the BJP CM choice is concerned. Of course, the BJP has a lot to balance in terms of the cards arithmetic, but here you can see there are a lot of celebration, colour, and this has just sort of begun because of the kind of lead that Diya Kumari is now gaining here. And very interestingly, there are Modi chants that you can hear here, and of course that was the BJP's key political flag, the double engine Sarkar plan, and that is something that is very visible here, Vishnu. Whether it's the welfare schemes, whether it's the fact that the Modi magic was sort of fielded against Gehlot ka jadoo, that is something that is visible here. So a lot of celebration here in Jaipur outside Diya Kumari's office.
Where is Diya Kumari herself? Because she is seen as a potential CM. In that confusion in leadership that is there in Rajasthan, there could be another woman emerging from Rajasthan. Okay, so those are visuals coming in from Rajasthan, where there are celebrations that are happening outside Diya Kumari's residence. There are 9 Rajwadas in all, from where the elections are being fought. So, the battle of Rajwadas, I think it's fascinating to watch that the way it has played out as well. But just look at these numbers. Rajasthan, we have the image also of Vasundhara Raje prominently displayed. She is leading from Jhalara Patan. Diya Kumari also leading from Vidyadhar Nagar. Then overall, the party performance, if we were to look at it, yes, Vasundhara Raje prominently displayed in all the images along with Prime Minister Modi and BJP President. But here it is about the Congress which is going down in Rajasthan, like really going down. It is not a close contest in Rajasthan.
So, Maria, basically you are hinting that selecting Chief Minister for Rajasthan is going to be a bigger headache for BJP than Madhya Pradesh?
Possible, sir.
Same in Telangana for the Congress.
Yeah.
Possible.
Okay, on Telangana, can we come back to Telangana, or you have some other order to follow?
We can come back to Telangana, but I had a question to ask you, Sanjay. Would you say that the mood of the Hindi heartland, which is going to be decisive in 2024. I know that assembly, elections are, general elections are different, but be that as it may, the mood of the Hindi heartland is being decided, which will have some sort of an impact in 2024.
The absolutely important point to discuss, Vishnu. This election result very clearly tells that for Congress, there is only one game for revival.
Yeah.
And for BJP, to challenge BJP, there is only one area, which is North India.
Yeah.
So in North India, if Congress doesn't have a script and a story and some degree of success, there is no story for Congress in 24. I know I'm making an extreme statement, but if you look at the result carefully, Congress can be revived, not based on Karnataka and Telangana. Okay, Karnataka, great victory, Telangana, great victory, give Kerala to them. How many seats?
Yeah.
If you want to extrapolate Telangana based on 17 Lok Sabha seats, then how do we react on Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh?
So this is in fact
victories?
looking fairly disastrous for the Congress right now. If you look at the fact that in UP they remain very strong, if they're losing Madhya Pradesh now, if they're losing Rajasthan right now, it's a white.
So now the danger is Telangana, it is a positive news for Congress. Veera, I want to ask you, positive news for Congress, but I am guaranteeing they will learn all wrong lessons from Telangana. Yes. Why? Because there is a positive news for BJP. Negative news is for BRS and the regional party, and the real issue there was corruption. Counter my statements.
Well, I agree with you that you can't take one assembly victory and extrapolate it to the rest of the country. The formula doesn't work, and I think they ran a strong campaign. And I think one needs to give credit also to the fact that there were local leaders. Whether you take a Siddaramaiah, who's from the Janata movement, comes down here, Revanth Reddy, as I pointed out, from the TDP as well, they built and ran a campaign which was extremely cohesive there. I also have one very humble submission to make here, Sanjay. It's, I think, the old Congress strategy that the BJP is following of not projecting chief minister. We were at one time always accused the Congress of never projecting a chief ministerial candidate. Even in Karnataka, they never projected Siddaramaiah clearly as the chief ministerial candidate. They wanted to take all castes along. Where they projected chief ministerial candidate, it doesn't work. So I think there is no hard playbook. It is an election by election phenomenon. Where you need to project someone, you need to project someone. Where you don't need to project someone, you don't need to project someone. I think that's possibly the lesson. Even in Telangana, they've not projected Revanth Reddy as the CM candidate. In fact, even the other day, he said, look, on the 9th of December, we will have swearing in, but as Adhyaksh, I will take care of whoever is being sworn in. That's the level that they're following out. So I think that's also a possible lesson. I don't know how these plays out.
BJP is up 8, Veera. They were what, 1 last time around?
Yes.
No.
Yes,
it's
they had
not,
1,
it's
but
not just
then
one.
they won 4 parliament seats in 2009.
It's not just one, Vishnu. I think it's psychologically, and to me, from South India's point of view, and I'll tell you this, 2014 when Telangana was created, and as I pointed out, Telangana area was an original TDP stronghold. It was never a Congress stronghold. 50 out of 119 in 2009. When Telangana was created, there was a sense within the Congress, we created Telangana, we are the ones who are going to take over it. Unfortunately for them, it just got pushed back on the ground. It was KCR who was the hero.
10 years late.
10 years down the line.
10 years late?
It's like, it's the state that led them to 2004. Without Andhra Pradesh, 2004 wasn't there for the UPA.
2009.
Supriya will respond to this. 10 years late, sure, but a convincing number there. Supriya, it's 10:45 and counting, but just look at the numbers of Telangana. You will certainly be looking at the brighter side of these 4 states.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I think Telangana, more than just the numbers, I think Telangana is going to be one of the first where we will perhaps be, trouncing regional parties, and I think that's a huge that's a huge phenomena, because and I say it at the cost of sounding far more objective than I should in my political role, but the emergence of regional parties, or the emergence of smaller regional parties, has been at the cost of the Congress. So the fact that we can trounce one in a state like Telangana, and with such a convincing majority, we read a lot into this verdict, and it says a lot. Yes, 10 years too late, but I think the fact that people, Telangana was formed with a vision, and that vision was never fulfilled, and the fact that we had a track record in neighboring Karnataka to prove that we will do what we promise. I will go back to Rajasthan, because I think that's an election that everybody is giving a lot of 2 cents gyan on. I will go back to it and say, I will still wait for the final numbers, but the fact that we are at the numbers where we are, this is one of the best shows that we've had in a state like Rajasthan, where we have fought for the second time for governance after being an incumbent.
But Supriya, let me ask you this question.
Yes.
Is there not a sense in the Congress party, if these trends end up being results, that there is a north-south split in this country? You've done very well in Telangana, you've done very well in Karnataka earlier on, but unless, as Sanjay Pugalia was mentioning, you have a proper script out for North India in states such as UP, a bigger say, in Madhya Pradesh, a bigger say, in Rajasthan, come in 2024, you may not just have the numbers.
I disagree with Sanjay on a lot of things that he has said on this show, and very vehemently so. I'm not going to get into a point-by-point rebuttal, but as far as your larger question is concerned, that do we need a different script, and is there a north-south divide, then what is Chhattisgarh all about?
Supriya, half a second. We've got some breaking news coming in. Shivraj Singh Chouhan speaking. Let's just quickly listen in.
ये प्रमुख कारण है डबल इंजन की सरकार। दिल्ली में प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में केंद्र सरकार ने जो काम किया, उसको यहाँ ठीक से हमने इम्प्लीमेंट किया, और जो यहाँ योजनाएं बनी, लाडली लक्ष्मी से लेकर लाडली बहना तक का एक अद्भुत सफर जो मध्य प्रदेश ने तय किया, गरीबों के लिए, किसानों के लिए, भांजे भांजियों के लिए जो काम हुए, वो भी जनता के दिल को छू गए, और एक परिवार मध्य प्रदेश बन गया। अमित शाह जी की अचूक रणनीति, उनका जिस ढंग से यहाँ साथ मिला, और हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष श्रीमान जेपी नड्डा जी का मार्गदर्शन, हमारे संगठन के नेतृत्व में कार्यकर्ताओं ने अनथक परिश्रम किया, प्रदेश अध्यक्ष, संगठन महामंत्री, उनके साथ टीम जुटी रही, और जैसा भूपेंद्र यादव जी ने, शिव प्रकाश जी ने, अश्विनी वैष्णव जी ने जो मार्गदर्शन किया, उससे चुनाव के अभियान को सही गति और दिशा मिली। और इसलिए मैंने पहले भी कहा था, हम बिल्कुल कंफर्टेबल मेजॉरिटी, शानदार मेजॉरिटी भारतीय जनता पार्टी को आएगी, क्योंकि जनता का प्रेम हर कहीं दिखाई देता था।
लाडली बहना ने सभी कांटे निकाल दिए, आप कह चुके थे पहले भी, अभी भी आप।
मैंने पहले भी कहा कि केवल लाडली बहना नहीं, लाडली लक्ष्मी 50% रिजर्वेशन स्थानीय निकाय के चुनाव में, कन्या विवाह, प्रधानमंत्री जी की जो योजना थी प्रधानमंत्री मातृ वंदना योजना, उसका ढंग से क्रियान्वयन, उसका प्रभाव, बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ जैसे अभियान, संपत्ति की खरीद में बहनों को रजिस्ट्री शुल्क में कमी, फिर 35% भर्तियां, ओवरऑल रिजर्वेशन दिया है बेटियों को, बहनों को, और फिर लाडली बहना ने जिंदगी बदली। तो बहनों के मन में एक असीम प्रेम, एक असीम विश्वास पैदा हुआ। अब हम विस्तार से, अभी तो प्रारंभिक रुझान है, लेकिन हमारा विश्वास है कि हम शानदार बहुमत प्राप्त करेंगे। बाकी चर्चा फिर विस्तार से बात करेंगे।
Shivraj Singh Chouhan, that's virtually an election victory speech, but it does appear that the BJP is doing quite well. I was speaking to Amitabh just a few moments back, and he said that no, Vishnu, don't get ahead of yourself. Wait till about 11:30 or 11:40. These could still be postal ballots. Be that as it may, Supriya Shrinate still with us. Sanjay Pugalia had a quick point. Go ahead.
नहीं, सुप्रिया, मैं आपसे ये कहना चाह रहा था कि आप जिन भी पॉइंट का जवाब देना चाहें आराम से दीजिए, लेकिन आपने चूंकि छत्तीसगढ़ का जिक्र किया, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है। छत्तीसगढ़ में कांग्रेस को बहुत अच्छी जीत मिल रही है, लेकिन ये क्रेडिट बघेल और बघेल की स्ट्रैटेजी को, उनको जो फ्री हैंड मिला उसको है। लेकिन ये भी ना भूलिए, क्योंकि अब देखिए 2024 की बात आएगी, उस संदर्भ में हम बात कर रहे हैं, और वो ये है कि बीजेपी ने वहाँ इम्प्रूव किया है, बावजूद उसके बघेल वहाँ लौट करके आ रहे हैं। तो ये ऑटोनॉमी की विक्ट्री है जिसको कांग्रेस को सल्यूट करना चाहिए।
आपकी बात को ही अगर मैं खंडन करते हुए एक बात बोलूं, और मुझे लगता है कि आपको बुरा नहीं मानना चाहिए क्योंकि हम बड़े फ्रैंकली बात कर रहे हैं संजय जी, आपके ही अकॉर्डिंग अगर मैं चलूं तो हर जीत का श्रेय भाजपा में मोदी को जाएगा, हार का श्रेय उनको नहीं जाएगा, हार का ठीकरा उनके सर नहीं फोड़ा जाएगा। लेकिन कांग्रेस में अगर कोई जीतेगा तो वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ रीजनल लोगों की जीत होगी। तो फिर वैसे मध्य प्रदेश में हार का ठीकरा किसके सर फोड़ा जाएगा, या राजस्थान में अगर हम अभी ट्रेल कर रहे हैं किसके सर फोड़ा जाएगा? मुझे लगता है कि ये थोड़ा सा दोहरा मापदंड है। ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, मुझे ऐसा लगता है तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये थोड़ा सा यहाँ पर हिपोक्रेसी का एक पुट है, पर आई थिंक मैं अभी भी आश्वस्त हूं कि राजस्थान के नंबर्स इससे ज्यादा इंप्रूव करेंगे। और जहां तक आपने कहा 2024 की पिक्चर बिल्कुल खुली हुई है, और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अगर कोई भी नंबर्स को एक्सट्रैपोलेट करके कुछ कहना चाहता है वो सर्वथा गलत है। अगर हम एक बहुत बड़ा ट्रेंड है, और मुझे लगता है कि आज से 24 घंटे बाद आप लोग फिर से एक डिस्कशन करेंगे, और द फैक्ट कि एक रीजनल पार्टी की हार हो रही है, ये बहुत बड़ी बात है एक नेशनल पार्टी के हाथों। चाहे वो हम होते या चाहे वो बीजेपी होता, रीजनल फिनोमेना यहां पर है और वो स्थायी दिख रहा था, और अब उनकी हार हो रही है, ये एक बड़ी बात है। छत्तीसगढ़ में हमारी वापसी प्रो इनकम्बेंसी है। राजस्थान में अभी भी जो नंबर्स आप दिखा रहे हैं वो मेरे लिए बहुत एनकरेजिंग है, क्योंकि पिछले कुछ दशकों में इस तरह के नंबर हम जब सेकेंड बार मत देखने जाते हैं तो नहीं मिले हैं हमें। मेरे लिए मध्य प्रदेश डिसअपॉइंटिंग है, एब्सोल्युटली डिसअपॉइंटिंग है, लेकिन मैं फिर भी कहूंगी कि मेरा मसला नहीं है, ये भाजपा का मसला है।
सुप्रिया,
लेकिन भाजपा में इससे खुशी है या दुख है ये मैं नहीं बता सकती।
छोड़िए
सुप्रिया,
इनफैक्ट ये बहुत बड़ी बात है, आप बिल्कुल सही कह रही हैं कि राजस्थान में जो ये रिवॉल्विंग डोर है उसके मुकाबिल पहली बार इस प्रकार की एंटी इनकम्बेंसी न्यूट्रलाइज हुई है कांग्रेस के लिए। ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट नंबर है। वोट शेयर भी आपका ठीक है, लेकिन वही है कि जो मैकेनिक्स होते हैं नीचे के, और उसमें मैं आपसे इंफॉर्मेशन सीख करना चाहूँगा कि जो बाद में 20 टिकटें बदली गई उसमें स्ट्राइक रेट क्या रहा, ये इंफॉर्मेशन के तौर पर मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ।
मेरे पास अभी डेटा नहीं है, लेकिन जब इंफॉर्मेशन आएगी तो हम लोग जरूर इसको साझा करेंगे। मैं मध्य प्रदेश का तो नहीं कह रही हूं, बिकॉज वहां पर तो काफी ज्यादा लीड है। मुझे लगता है कि 12 बजे अगर हम दोबारा से बात करें तो राजस्थान के नंबर्स काफी रिवाइज होंगे।
ओके, एक चीज और, आपने जो कहा रीजनल पार्टी का खत्म होना और कांग्रेस का इमर्ज होना, ये इंडिया अलायंस के लिए भी एक नया चैलेंज पोज करेगा, जो अभी WIP है, वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस है।
बिल्कुल, हर चीज वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस है। राजनीति में कोई चीज जब तक लास्ट वोट काउंट ना हो जाए कास्ट नहीं होता है। मुझे लगता है इंडिया अलायंस के लिए भी ये जरूरी है और मुझे लगता है कि इंडिया अलायंस में हमारी जो मीटिंग अगली होगी उसमें भी इस फिनोमिना का डिस्कशन जरूर होगा कि कैसे अगर कांग्रेस एक तेलंगाना जैसा राज्य जीत रही है, जो तेलंगाना हमने बनाया 10 साल तक हम वहां नहीं आ पाए, अब आएंगे। मुझे लगता है ये सारे डायनामिक्स एट प्ले होंगे, इसमें कोई संशय नहीं है।
All right, Supriya, thanks very much for sharing your thoughts.
Just a piece of breaking news that is coming in now, that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be going to the BJP headquarters. They have reasons to celebrate. Now the BJP number is almost double, more than the double in Madhya Pradesh of the Congress party. In Rajasthan also the numbers consolidating in the upwards of 104. But the concern certainly would appear in Chhattisgarh, because if you have a BJP and Congress gap of just 4, then we really do not know which way it's heading. But the news coming in around 6:30 p.m. is when the celebrations are going to begin at the BJP headquarters in Delhi, and that has been a very, very lucky headquarters, Sanjay.
Yes, precisely. Or whenever this happens, whenever BJP wins or is to make a big statement, the Prime Minister goes there. Of course, that buoyancy would be there, and he would be most humble
carries
person.
On right till prime time.
And to the workers, he'll assign a new task.
Yes.
What is important here? 2 states. Madhya Pradesh victory is phenomenal in terms of numbers. Rajasthan very good. Chhattisgarh is closing. Chhattisgarh, as we said, may go down to wire.
Let's just pull out those numbers.
What Supriya Sinha said, can I just 30 seconds? Yeah. What Supriya Sinha said in last line of responding to Sanjay Pugalia ji, that this work in progress of India Alliance is open, and their buoyancy in Telangana may write a fresh script, may force a writing of fresh script for India Alliance. That is a very, very interesting scenario, and which is going to be talked about.
There is only one agency which has said BJP will win Chhattisgarh.
Because head to head
against the trend, BJP will
win
Chhattisgarh.
Chhattisgarh is becoming very, very fascinating.
It's becoming closer.
Everyone, I wanted to go across for a quick reaction on Chhattisgarh to Supriya. Supriya, the Congress party, she's just left right now. Amitabh, let's just take a look at Chhattisgarh closely. They are at the simple majority mark as the Congress. These are not final by any means. But the BJP at this stage up 27 to 42 in a state where the Congress believed it had it wrapped up. This tells, even if the Congress were to win, right, the margin would be extremely slender.
Yeah, so Chhattisgarh has always been a very close election. Only 2018 was an outlier.
Yes.
So this shows that the state will revert to the mean of closer elections. And in the regional analysis you showed, BJP gaining in center, south, north, all the regions because of different factors.
Everyone just hold on for half a second. I need to interrupt this because I do need to take a short break at this stage. These are important. This is what keeps us going. And we're getting a bit hungry as well. So there's some chai pani coming in. So do bear with us. We'll be back in about 2 minutes from now. Do stay tuned.
Okay.
It's the semi-final before the big 2024 final. The high-stakes battles in the 5 states.
Can Gehlot stop the Rajasthan revolving door this time? Or will the Modi magic trump Gehlot ka jadoo?
Is this the toughest political battle for Shivraj Singh Chouhan in 2 decades in MP? Will Kamal Nath turn the electoral tables this time decisively?
This time, the BRS is facing a tough fight from the Congress, and the BJP's high-pitched campaign is making this a triangular contest in India's youngest state.
Baghel banks on welfare scheme to retain Raipur for Congress. Which way Chhattisgarh will swing?
There is a tough triangular fight between the MNF, ZPM and the Congress in Mizoram. The big question is, who will romp home?
The fastest results, data crunching, accurate analysis and newsmakers. The battle for states. 6 a.m. onwards, all day, on December 3rd on NDTV.
This show
This is NDTV, and you're watching NDTV 24/7.
All right, it is looking very, very exciting indeed. The gap between the BJP and the Congress in Madhya Pradesh is now fairly startling. The gap is also building between the Congress and the BJP in Rajasthan. And indeed, Chhattisgarh, which many in the Congress would have suggested would be a walkover in their favor, it is quite close. Telangana, yes, the Congress has done incredibly well. Defeating or potentially defeating the BRS looks very much on the cards. But there's some important breaking news, Maria, which is coming in as well.
Yes, and you, as you heard from Supriya, she was talking about perhaps the Congress will have a better bargaining power within the India alliance because if they have unseated a regional satrap in the state of Telangana. News coming in that Congress has called the India meeting on December 6th. They will have much to explain to all other partners, particularly as to what happened in a bipolar contest between the BJP and the Congress in the state of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and also Chhattisgarh. And I think that becomes important because, you know, we have been saying that if the Congress were to do well in one of the states where it's a bipolar contest, then they would have a better bargaining power. Yes, they may have trumped BRS, a regional strong force in the state of Telangana, but when it is about a direct fight between the BJP and the Congress, it almost appears to be a mismatch. BJP winning with almost the double and perhaps bettering its number ever in the state of Madhya Pradesh, a state that they have been in power for 20 years, a chief minister who has been in power for 18 years, and in Rajasthan, which is following the revolving door process. But look at Chhattisgarh number. Sanjay, the question here is 45-43. This is too close an election for the Congress party's comfort.
Chhattisgarh, not just Congress party, but many others kind of declared the election to have been won by the Congress for many months ago. Since then, there are not many people who actually were giving any chance to the BJP. These numbers, of course, these numbers are closing because morning when counting started, Congress was leading very comfortably in terms of the trends that were coming in. This is only election in terms of 3 other places where counting is going on, where we are seeing kind of a reversal of a trend. A total reversal has not happened, but that is the closing of gap is actually happening in Chhattisgarh. This is very, very interesting. These elections would go to the wire as the numbers start coming in and counting still in process. I think Mr. Baghel was trailing. I don't know whether he is still trailing or not. T.S. Sindhya also is trailing. That again becomes very interesting because both Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister trailing. In a situation where Mr. Baghel, on behalf of Congress Party, was actually touring every other state and was acting as Congress's troubleshooter, both in terms of with all kinds of resources.
Sure. But just Sanjay, one important development that's just come in. Bhupesh Baghel is now in the lead. So that's changed in the last little while.
I'd like to make a point.
Yes, please.
This election was widely being talked about as a battle of welfare schemes because, everybody was talking about welfare and schemes and Labharti and so on. If you look at the kind of trends we're seeing right now, BRS, which was so dependent on the welfare schemes that it had unfurled over the last 10 years, is losing the state.
Yes.
Ashok, Gehlot in Rajasthan,
with all his welfare schemes,
looks like he may be losing. And even Chhattisgarh.
So bravery doesn't amount to much.
No, even in Chhattisgarh, again, where Baghel had done so many welfare schemes, particularly in the field of agriculture, now it's turned out to be a really close contest. So obviously there is much more to elections than just trying to woo voters with welfare schemes. There's organizations, the mechanics of it, running an election
go across
campaign.
to NDTV's Pratibha, who's got a guest with her. Go ahead, Pratibha.
Well, I have with me AICC Secretary as well as Telangana State in charge, Mr. Mansoor Ali Khan, sir. I mean, the way moving towards Congress, how happy are you at this time?
It's actually, it was expected, and we've been on the ground, and right from when Rahulji did the Bharat Jodo Yatra, the cadre were really enthusiastic, and then the contribution of Sonia ji for Telangana and the creation of Telangana, and Priyanka ji's campaign, Kharge saab's campaign, and then all the local leadership, and because we've been seeing from the last 3-4 months how the ground situation is and what was reported. There was a huge difference, and the people of Telangana were actually fed up of the BRS government and the failed promises.
In fact, we are stationed outside the party headquarters here in Telangana, and there's a lot of festive spirit right outside with a lot of firecrackers and drum beats that have been playing. But then we also hear of ministers from Karnataka who have been lodging themselves here in Telangana. Is there some sort of a fear or insecurity in terms of BRS approaching a lot of your candidates?
Absolutely not. Actually, this is all, I don't know, a creation. And as all party workers, the party members who are being deployed by the High Command in the electoral process of the party have been here. And absolutely, there is no fear about any of our MLAs or candidates being in trouble. And we are absolutely sure we will all be together and we will form a very healthy government.
So a sweeping majority is what you say?
Definitely. Because it's the reflection of the confidence of people of Telangana have in the Congress party, and definitely we will be sweeping into power.
Right. So, and the bigger question is, if the Congress were to come to power, who will be the chief minister?
See, in Congress party there is a process, and there will the MLAs and the High Command will finally take a call, and there is we have established process in the Congress party.
Right. So that was Mr. Mansoor Ali Khan talking about Congress heading in for a sweeping majority in Telangana. Well, a lot would depend on how the trends would really proceed from here onwards in Telangana.
All right, we've got Uma Sudhir with us as well, from who joins us from Hyderabad. But before that, let me go across to Veera Raghav. Veera Raghav, you had a point to make.
No, very quick point to make. Welfare schemes alone are not a guarantee of success, and also for an incumbent government, one of the sentiments, and I think Uma, maybe we can put that across to Uma, an incumbent government going around tom-tomming saying that, look, I gave you this, I gave you this, I gave you this, can have a backlash as well, though it's not had one in Madhya Pradesh. But I think in Telangana, Uma, there was a lot of reliance on this KCR image, and as we've been discussing and you've pointed out since the outset, it's a KCR versus KCR election. Was there too much reliance for the BRS on the KCR image, forgetting the fact that family rule is something that India has rejected with every regional party? Every regional party has fallen because of family rule.
Yes, indeed. The perception of arrogance of the family and power being centered only within 4 members of the family, that's something that certainly did not go well with the people of Telangana. While KCR's welfare policies were all something that people did acknowledge, Raitu Bandhu or pensions and so on. But during elections, it's not what you have already got, but what you're going to get next. That is what is a carrot that is dangled before people. And I would think the 2 segments that the Congress very specifically addressed, whether it is a youth segment or the women to who they promised 2,500 rupees monthly honorarium. They also promised free bus travel, and they also promised the gas at 500 rupees. And the debate, even rural women actually were, I was surprised that they were able to point out that it was the Congress which did it first, and why didn't they do it earlier if they really thought that we needed cheap cylinders, because they also had heard that KCR had then announced that they would be getting gas cylinders for 400 rupees. So it's not what you've already got, but what you're going to get that perhaps has that attraction, has that kind of, yes, so these are the kind of vehicles you'll find where people are...
Sure. Uma, just a quick question. Is there a change in mood within the Congress party that you're actually detecting right now? Or do they believe that it could actually be lower than what they had initially projected? Or do you believe that the trends thus far are exactly where the Congress wants it to be?
The Congress Congress is in a very upbeat mood and they do not think that they are going to be just about the majority number. They in fact seem to be feeling that they are going to be in a very, very comfortable position here, and therefore all the talk about whether if you have only about 2 short or 3
Uma,
more,
we'll come back to you in just half a second. There are lots of colour for the Congress party over there. I want to turn our attention to Chhattisgarh and stay on Chhattisgarh for just a few minutes because it's getting really interesting now. In the last 1 hour or so, we've seen a drastic change. I'm going to walk across to the screen so that we can actually take a look at what the situation in Chhattisgarh is, and then let's take a look at the regional breakup in Chhattisgarh as well. This is extremely close at this stage. And let's just have it out for you. Remember, the magic mark is 46. You say the Congress has actually reached that magic mark. Not quite, but these are now becoming trends slowly. In the next 10 or 15 minutes, what you start seeing would likely become a result. But the fact is that the BJP at 43 up 28 means that this cannot be taken at all for granted. You know, this going down by a few seats, this going up by a few seats is quite possible. It can, of course, it can happen the other way around as well. But this is not, and I think this is the key point, what the Congress had expected of Chhattisgarh at all. So, Mitra, would you like to sort of come in and take a look or tell us a little bit about what you see developing in Chhattisgarh?
So, I think initially when we started with the election campaign, Vishnu, we saw that Congress was in lead. You know, nobody imagined that BJP would come back because Raman Singh ji himself was very dormant, silent. We were not hearing much. And I think the campaign also which BJP launched, especially the campaign for election and the Mahadev app controversy and all these things, it came in very late. But I think one of the important factors which is affecting all the north states, I mean all the 3 states in the north, is the anti-Hindu or the anti-Sanatan rant which has happened. It has consolidated the Hindu votes. That is what I feel is really bringing out these numbers.
Sure.
Because otherwise Chhattisgarh was a clear winning shot for the Congress. But now I think BJP might just
be in the ascendancy. Let's just take a look at the region-wise split of Chhattisgarh. This is north. And the number is a whopping 12 up for the BJP at 17 at this stage out of 32 seats in this area. The BJP, the Congress, I should say, down by 9. If you take a look at South Chhattisgarh, there are 3 regions in the state. In South Chhattisgarh, 16 out of 16. The Congress down 7, the BJP up 6. So in all of these areas,
yes,
it's very much the BJP which is on the ascendancy. And finally, though it is narrowly in favor of the Congress in the center of central Chhattisgarh, just look at the BJP up 11. So it's neck and neck.
Yes, but look at the southern part. Let's bring in the
Let's go back to the
southern part. In 2018, Vishnu, the Congress had 48.8% vote share.
Yeah.
They had won 15 seats. And the BJP had won only one seat with 33%. Now look at the shift. 48, that means they had an upper advantage of 15% in 2018. Look at the north now. In north, there was an 8% gap between the BJP and the Congress in 2018. The Congress was at 40.6 with 24 seats. Now they are down by 9 seats. Similarly, in central, there was a gap of 10% between the BJP and the Congress, with the Congress having a vote share of 43 and the BJP at 33. The gap of seats, Vishnu, at that time was 29 for the Congress and 9 for the BJP.
It'll be interesting, and Rajat, come in on this. Why do you believe, or what are some of the key factors you believe, are resulting in the BJP being in the upswing over here?
Well, I think it's one of the most interesting campaign strategies that BJP adopted. BJP was very nimble right from the upfront because...
All right, half a second. Raman Singh speaking. Sorry about that, Rajat. Let's quickly listen in.
Yeah, उसका आशीर्वाद आज मध्य प्रदेश की जनता ने दिया।
नतीजा क्या निकलेगा? पर भूपेश जी का नतीजा दिख रहा है कि 2 राउंड में पीछे चल रहे हैं। इसका मतलब यह है कि जनता ने उनके सारे मंत्रियों को नकारा है, पूरी सरकार को रिजेक्ट किया है और भारतीय जनता पार्टी को पूरा का पूरा आशीर्वाद और समर्थन दिया है।
सर, शुरुआती बढ़त आखिर क्या माने कि बीजेपी को जनता क्यों चुन रही है?
मैंने पहले भी इसका जवाब दिया था कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी मोदी जी के नाम से, मोदी जी के काम से 9-9.5 साल की उपलब्धि को लेकर जिस प्रकार केंद्रीय नेतृत्व ने मेहनत किया, प्रधानमंत्री जी ने समय दिया, गृह मंत्री जी ने समय दिया, राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जी ने जो समय हमको दिया, और जनता को मोदी जी की गारंटी, जनता ने उस पर भरोसा किया, भूपेश की बातों पर भरोसा नहीं किया। ये प्रथम चरण के रुझान में स्पष्ट दिख रहा है और ये निश्चित रूप से भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लिए और राष्ट्रीय नेतृत्व का आशीर्वाद मिला और हम जीत की ओर बढ़ेंगे।
छत्तीसगढ़ में आपको सबसे ज्यादा भरोसा, आप सबसे मुखर होकर बोले कि हम जीत रहे हैं, भूपेश पे भरोसा लोगों का कम हो गया। और सबसे बड़ी बात, गृह मंत्री ने आप पर भरोसा जताया था। आपको अंडर करंट पता था सर, क्या ऐसा हो रहा है?
अंडर करंट दिख रहा था और इतना बड़ा अंडर करंट होगा इसका एहसास सामान्यतः लोगों को नहीं हो पा रहा था, मगर मैं इस बात को लगातार रिपीट कर रहा था। मेरी बात को लोग भरोसा कितना करते हैं मैं नहीं जानता, मगर मैं मीडिया के माध्यम से रोज बोल रहा था, एक ही बात को रिपीट कर रहा था कि जबरदस्त अंडर करंट है और भूपेश को छत्तीसगढ़ की जनता रिजेक्ट कर चुकी है, उसके चेहरे को हराना चाहती है।
सर, आप बैकफुट पे थे एकदम से, क्योंकि आपको क्या लगता है क्या गेम चेंजर रहा जो आप अचानक से, जो बिल्कुल बैकफुट पे थे, अचानक से लीड करते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं? तो ऐसी कौन सी गेम चेंजर पॉलिसीज थी, किस तरह से इसको मोबिलाइज किया आपने पूरे कैडर को?
नहीं, लीड डॉक्टर रमन ने नहीं किया, लीड पूरे सामूहिक नेतृत्व में हमने किया, मैं भी मेहनत किया, हम सब ने किया और राष्ट्रीय नेतृत्व ने इतना समय दिया। मगर जैसे ही हमारी घोषणा पत्र जारी किया हमने और वो घोषणा पत्र में मोदी जी की गारंटी उसमें लग गया, उसके बाद जनता को 100% भरोसा हो गया कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो कहती है उसको करती है और मोदी जी की बात पे। और 15 साल, फिर मैं रिपीट करूंगा, 15 साल जो डेवलपमेंट के काम हमने किया था विकास के, उस काम को भी मुहर लगाया।
क्या आपको लगता है कि जो करप्शन था, जो भूपेश बघेल ने जो किया था, लगातार एक के बाद एक करप्शन की जो चीजें सामने निकल करके आ रही थी, उसने भी बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले किया? बहुत
बड़ा मुद्दा था भूपेश बघेल के करप्शन, और लगातार वो शराब की घोटाला हो, कोयला का घोटाला हो, महादेव ऐप का मामला हो, पीएससी में भर्ती में युवकों के साथ छल किया गया वो घोटाला हो, महिलाओं के साथ जो उस प्रकार से वादा खिलाफी किया गया वो बातें हैं। इन बातों को लेकर लोग भूपेश के चेहरा को बदलना चाहते थे।
एक बात ये सामने आ रही थी कि बीजेपी जो है शहरों में अच्छा करेगी, लेकिन गांव में, क्योंकि किसानों तक उनका पेनिट्रेशन इतना अच्छा नहीं है, तो क्या आपको लगता है कि आपकी जो योजनाएं हैं और जो आपकी बातें हैं वो ग्रामीण इलाकों तक भी पहुंच पाई हैं?
पूरी महिलाओं ने और युवकों ने जम के वोट दिया और किसानों ने भी समर्थन।
सर, आप 9 मंत्री पीछे हैं, अगर मौका मिलेगा मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगे?
ये पार्टी का निर्णय है, पार्टी जिसको भी जवाबदारी देगी। हम लोग एक सामान्य कार्यकर्ता हैं, जब जैसी जो जवाबदारी दी गई उसका पालन किया, आगे जैसे पार्टी का निर्देश होगा और जिसको भी जवाबदारी दी जाएगी सब मिलके उसको छत्तीसगढ़ में एक बेहतर सरकार बनाने का काम करें।
आप चौथी बार ये जिम्मेवारी संभालने के लिए तैयार हैं?
मैं कहता हूं ना, पार्टी मुझे हमेशा, मैंने कभी मांगा नहीं है, पार्टी जब जो जवाबदारी दी है उसका क्रियान्वयन मैं करता रहा हूं। आगे क्या जवाबदारी देगी पार्टी के नेता तय करेंगे।
ये 9 मंत्री पीछे चल रहे हैं अभी,
ये पूरी सरकार पीछे चल रही है। जब मुख्यमंत्री 2 राउंड में पीछे हो गया, इसका मतलब ये बता दिया कि जनमत उनके खिलाफ।
दावे कर रहे थे, कई तरह के दावे थे, 75 पार तो आपने अभी भी कहा है,
75 की बात कर रहे थे। और मैं कल भी आपको कहा था, मैंने आंकड़े भी बताए थे कि कांग्रेस कहां तक जाएगी और वो 40 भी क्रॉस नहीं कर पाई।
All right, so breaking news now coming in. If you look at the latest lead situation in Chhattisgarh, we've got it up 47 now. It's swapped, change between the BJP and the Congress. It's the BJP which is above the halfway mark now. The Congress has gone down a little bit. You saw Raman Singh speaking just a few moments back. It's changed again. It's 49. The BJP pushing towards that 50 mark. Remember, the majority mark is 46. Raman Singh, you heard speaking over there, appearing incredibly confident at this stage. And the key point over here, one among many, is that many or most of the exit polls got it all wrong as far as Chhattisgarh is concerned.
Vishnu, in the morning at 8 o'clock, I mentioned this point, that none other than it was only Amit Shah ji who was telling every reporter he was meeting over the past 10 days that you will see a massive upset. Place your bets on BJP in Chhattisgarh. He was the lone voice who was saying this repeatedly because he was sensing it from the ground. Understand the strategy of BJP. It became a fait accompli 3 months back that Congress is winning. There is no leadership, but BJP started a very, very micro campaign. They picked up very small but genuine issues. They picked up the PSC scam, the civil services scam in the state. They picked up the agrarian crisis issue. They picked up the huge unemployment crisis right now in Chhattisgarh.
And
all of these simmering was happening, and they used a plain vanilla campaigning. They did not go out to try extraordinary
things. And then there was the entire thing for the SGs, which was announced by the Prime Minister in Jharkhand. Aarti, you had a point. You had a point to make on this.
Maninder Singh,
on what exactly is happening over here. Just quickly before we go to Mr. Sirsaiya.
On the ST issue, I just want to point out that the Prime Minister made that remark, that announcement on the 15th of November. But the Bastar region in Chhattisgarh
had already voted.
So
that may not have been a factor.
No, I would say it is the work on the ground that the BJP and RSS have done over the last few years, sustained work amongst tribals, and I think that there was a polarization between Christian Adivasis and non-Christian Adivasis, which has worked to the BJP's advantage very clearly.
Yes, I will. Just a quick word from Maninder Singh Sirsa, who's joining me from the BJP office. Maninder ji, आदाब. आपके चेहरे पे मुस्कुराहट लाजमी है क्योंकि अगर 11:30 बज गया है और ये नंबर्स दिख रहे हैं. Give us what do you think is working for the BJP in Chhattisgarh? We are understanding what worked in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan as well. What do you think worked or perhaps is working if these numbers hold?
See, one thing is for sure that when we talk about Chhattisgarh, the big scam in Chhattisgarh was definitely a most important issue in Chhattisgarh. When you talk about Mahadev app, you talk about the corruption in Chhattisgarh, the loot in Chhattisgarh, and the Prime Minister also very clearly said that people are just looting and filling up their coffers. So I think the corruption was the biggest issue in Chhattisgarh, and that was the reason that people want to boot out this party out and this government out, and they have given the mandate to the BJP, to the Narendra Modi ji.
And nobody was giving Chhattisgarh to you. I remember I did speak to a lot of BJP leaders, and I agree with what Rajat here is saying, that Home Minister Amit Shah, who has been crisscrossing Chhattisgarh, has been telling everyone that be prepared for a surprise in Chhattisgarh. So perhaps they had sensed that. I want to understand from you, what do you think BJP did right, besides, of course, taking on the Congress party on the issue of corruption?
See, the one thing is corruption. The second most important thing is, see, people of Chhattisgarh, maybe Prime Minister's slogan, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Prayas, Sabka Vishwas. So Chhattisgarh people have seen that in spite of Congress government there, the schemes of center are reaching them. The government of India is doing their best to get them, reach them, the scheme should reach them. And at the same time, the Chhattisgarh CM is just looting them like anything. So Amit Shah ji was very clear from day one. He was categorically saying and again कि मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ. In our meetings also, उन्होंने कहा बार-बार ही said कि मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ छत्तीसगढ़ को लोग बहुत गलत आंक रहे हैं. छत्तीसगढ़ के अंदर बीजेपी का साथ है. लोग चाहते हैं बीजेपी को लाना और बदलाव आएगा. और छत्तीसगढ़ के आंकड़े आपको हैरान करने वाले होंगे. तो day one he was sensing this कि छत्तीसगढ़ will be a big change. And when he said about मध्य प्रदेश कि मध्य प्रदेश में हम 140-50 सीटें जीतेंगे, I think no media house was buying his argument.
Okay, Maninder ji, just half a second, because this is incredible, the turnaround that we are seeing in Chhattisgarh. Let me go straight across to NDTV's Sunil Prabhu, who joins us now from the Congress office here in Delhi. Sunil, give us an idea of what some of the reactions are. Is the mood one of despondency? Because, Telangana, I beg your pardon, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, things aren't really going well for the Congress.
Not going well, and in fact, just to give you a mood, the bands that were started have all stopped. It's completely now getting desolate. I think clearly the message is loud and clear for the Congress party that they have made a number of mistakes, and I think many of the general secretaries, many of their leaders did report to the Congress leadership during the campaign, be it in Chhattisgarh, be it in Madhya Pradesh, that things were not going well. They did tell them that in Madhya Pradesh there was a lackluster campaign. The fact that in Chhattisgarh, especially in urban areas, the situation hasn't been very, very good. And of course, this entire campaign of attacking on the corruption issue has definitely made a huge impact. So definitely for the Congress party as well as opposition parties, it's back to the drawing room stage. They understand now that ahead of that finals of 2024, it's a long road ahead, and definitely a lot of mistakes that have been committed, and really they are really what one leader conceded and said, extremely disappointed and upset with the way the votes have turned out to be.
Vishnu, similar to what we had seen in 2015 in Bihar. The BJP started distributing laddus around 8:30, 9:30, and that's what happened.
But I'll tell you where laddus are being distributed right now.
Is it?
In Jaipur.
Yes.
Our colleague Vedant at a BJP leader. Is this the BJP office? This is in fact, I think, the BJP office where you are, Vedant. What's happening over there? Laddu distribution started. The numbers seem very much in favor of the BJP at this stage.
Well, Vishnu, I'm very close to the city palace here in Jaipur, and here you can see there's celebration. The dhols are out, and BJP flags are out. In fact, a lot of women from the Raj Mahal, as it is called, are here as well. Let me try get in a word from them as well. आप बताइए, दिया कुमारी जी अब लगभग 20,000 वोटों से आगे चल रही हैं। क्या लड्डू बंटना शुरू हो गया ऑलरेडी?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल लड्डू बंटने शुरू हो गए। दिया कुमारी जी आनी चाहिए, क्योंकि हम तो ये चाह रहे हैं कि राजस्थान में मुख्यमंत्री दिया कुमारी जी बने, क्योंकि हमारी महिलाओं की जो पीड़ा है वो सिर्फ महिला ही समझ सकती है। और अभी हमें अगर युवाओं का उज्जवल भविष्य चाहिए, ये अपने ये जो वंशवाद, जातिवाद जो ये चल रहा है, तुष्टिकरण की नीति से मुक्ति पानी है, तो हमें दिया कुमारी जी जैसी इनके जैसे हमें जो प्राइम मिनिस्टर रुको जरा।
चलिए आप बताइए अभी रुझान है, परिणाम नहीं आए, लेकिन अगर बीजेपी आती है पावर में तो ये किसकी जीत आप देखती हैं? ये मोदी की जीत है, दिया कुमारी जी की Here you can see Vishnu, Modi chants of Jai Shri Ram as well. Let me try and get the word from some more people. आप बताइए सर, लड्डू बंटना शुरू हो गया है, अभी आप आश्वस्त हैं कि बीजेपी यहाँ पर पूर्ण बहुमत के साथ आएगी?
मेरे हिसाब से बीजेपी राजस्थान में अभी 115 के आसपास जीत रही है।
हो गया?
ये जीत हमारी
आप हो गया?
From the people here, BJP supporters out in large numbers here outside BJP Karyalayas, and they've planned huge celebrations.
Vedant,
prominent faces like Diya Kumari.
Vedant, I want to understand from you who all are there at the BJP office. You know, the leader who arrives first may have got some indication from the central leadership.
Absolutely, Maria. In fact, sources within the party here tell us that two senior leaders are expected by today evening. Of course, Gajendra Singh Shekhawat has been here holding the fort, for the BJP. In fact, boosting the morale of BJP workers here. He came to the BJP office here as well, and we're expecting senior leadership from the BJP to come here by today evening as well. And initially, as we were reporting, the rebel factor, the independents, could have become important because there was a cliffhanger that was predicted by the exit polls. But right now, the BJP is looking at a comfortable majority. And Maria, here you can see laddus are out as well in true BJP style. Okay, so Maria, a lot of celebrations have been planned, and of course, not just
we have seen that kind of celebrations in the BJP office, and all that will be translating into massive celebrations at the BJP headquarters in Delhi at the ITO.
It's not that we are stopping you. We know that you have a thing for laddus. Go right ahead, Vedant.
Okay, Sanjay, when we look at these images, yes, state after state, it's a convincing victory. Madhya Pradesh 72 plus another 15. That is what the Congress, BJP has. In the state of Rajasthan also, a massive victory, a convincing victory. And if these numbers hold, then Chhattisgarh could also be good news for the BJP. My question then is, सब जगह collective leadership थी, under the overarching image of Prime Minister Modi. So the Modi magic that we keep talking about is winning states for the BJP.
Precisely. Modi magic has held, and Maria, very honestly and frankly, nobody outside of Amit Shah's strategy group believed that they were going to win 3 out of 3 in the heartland. That is again very interesting. You mentioned about Amit Shah telling everybody, and I had a small chat with him when he said that people won't believe now, but Chhattisgarh we are going to win.
You know, Sanjay sir, मैं एक चीज बस add करूंगी. There is this party that we have seen in action since 2014. Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah, who started as the BJP president. In those 5 years that he was the BJP president, he has traveled to each and every state of India. He is the person responsible for ensuring that every district of India has a BJP office.
Yeah, every district now they are going district wise. The fact remains that Rajasthan people were talking too much about Gehlot, the welfare schemes initiated by Gehlot, and so on and so forth. In Madhya Pradesh, again, these numbers, nobody had believed these numbers. I think these numbers would be comparable to the numbers that BJP got in Gujarat. Again, head to head, coming to 2024, head to head, BJP vis-a-vis Congress, where they have been pitted straight one against each other in 2014 and 2019. BJP's strike rate is about 85%.
Yes.
So these numbers actually tell you a very larger story.
And talking about that aspect, when Karnataka elections were lost, Desh Ratan Nigam, and coming on this also.
Maria, 30 seconds.
Yes.
When you did that big fight, the last point where we concluded was Chhattisgarh.
Yes. That's an important point that we did. Desh Ratan Nigam, when the Karnataka elections were lost, the point was that the BJP is not relying on local leadership. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is doing too much of heavyweight lifting. Just look at these results. All 3 states, but is it different because it's a Hindi belt? Cow belt mein mahal isliye different ho sakta hai because the Labharti aspect, the Modi voter is very much there because of the Labhartis. The last mile delivery of the schemes of the government is being felt on the ground, and we have seen that on ground.
Yes, certainly, Maria. In fact, delivery of the scheme so far as BJP is concerned and digitalization of the entire scheme is one of the most common factors for BJP's delivery. And not to forget their grassroots level workers. Their grassroots level workers, Panna Pramukh, which take everything to the bottom. Right to the last mile connectivity is their Karyakartas. And then comes the Prime Minister. Let me put it this way. The Prime Minister is bonus to everything. The structure that they have, the grassroots workers that they have, the booth level workers that they have, and therefore, if you look at the entire state of Karnataka, they lost because of the loss of few leaders out there, and Andhra Karnataka, the bad loss that they had in Andhra Karnataka.
But there are a couple of important points. Half a second, Veera, which I wanted to make over here, and just go back to these numbers also in terms of state by state. The key point that you can actually see over here is that despite the India alliance actually gaining a little bit of steam, when it comes to numbers in the north of the country, they are nowhere to be considered. On the 6th of December, there's going to be an important meeting. They'll certainly be taking stock of what is proving to be a fairly disastrous run. We could also see, if you look at Telangana and the fact that the Congress is likely coming to power over there, we can see a clear north-south split over here. So the Karnataka win for the Congress earlier on, extending into Telangana, but the key point being that if there isn't something substantial, the India alliance, and not least of all the Congress party, has in mind for the north of the country, come 2024, it'll be difficult for a mood change to actually be in effect. And without something substantial over there, they'd be in trouble. Let's just quickly go across to all of the states right now and see what the lead situation is. Chhattisgarh first. This has gone down from 49 to 47, but considering the fact that it was the Congress which was expected to win, it is a huge jump for the BJP, and it appears at this stage that the BJP is on its way to coming to power in Chhattisgarh. Raman Singh, a little while back, actually said quite clearly that, look, we are going to win. We knew it all along. Amit Shah had made the point for a while that it was the BJP coming to power. All the exit polls, by and large, got it wrong over here. I think there was one outlier. Let's move to Madhya Pradesh. And this, I think, as far as the BJP is concerned, is one of the biggest stories, not because they are likely winning Madhya Pradesh at this stage, but the margin of the win is absolutely huge. Up 45, the Congress 41. Remember, there were a couple of exit polls which had said that no, in fact, it's the Congress which is going to win. With a lead like this now, and we are well now past, or we are slowly getting past the stage of ballot polls, it is a huge, huge number over there as well.
It's a wave election in Madhya Pradesh.
So this is going to be a resounding victory, one way or the other, for the BJP, it appears at this stage. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves until some of these trends become results. That will happen. Rajasthan, another huge story. Again, there were those exit polls which said that, no, in fact, it's going to be close. It might be in favor of the BJP. But let's take a look at where the BJP is now. Up 39, the Congress down 33. Let's go across now to NDTV's Manish Kumar, who joins us from Chhattisgarh, from Raipur. Manish, thanks very much for being with us. You know, there was a sense of optimism in the Congress in the morning. Baghel started trailing. He may be in the lead right now, but it seems that the BJP is clearly on the ascendancy in Chhattisgarh. Is that the sense in the Congress office?
Yes, of course, the hope is now giving way to despair. Although the Congress party managers, campaign managers, they are still claiming that it's too early because there are over 15 rounds still to count, and they are hopeful that they will be able to somewhere change the trend. But even that whatever trends are there till 11:30, it's it continues to hold in the remaining last round. But of course, Chhattisgarh has a history of close contest, but we have to keep our fingers crossed. But as of now, it seems that BJP is going to create a big upset, because this is one of those few states where almost all the exit polls gave Congress party a comfortable majority. Of course, everyone was aware of the fact that Congress will not be able to retain either the seats which they won last time, or the seats the vote percentage. But nobody expected this kind of dismal performance by the incumbent Congress government, Bhupesh Baghel government, because Bhupesh Baghel was the face of the campaign, and somewhere he gave the optimism. He was quite confident that he will be able to pull it off. But we have to see, as of now, it seems that this Chhattisgarh is also slipping from the hands of Congress, and BJP is on the way back in Raipur.
Let's just go across to Tuhin Sinha, the BJP spokesperson. Thanks, Mr. Sinha, very much for being with us. And Manish, thank you also for having joined us a few minutes back. Mr. Sinha, the key point over here, and let's just take a look at the larger picture. What is the larger message over here? It does appear that the BJP will be winning these three key states, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan. If that is the case, then going into 2024, and I do know that assembly election results don't necessarily have a link with what's going to happen in general elections. However, would you say that the mood in the Hindi heartland has been established?
Well, Vishnu, I have been sticking my neck out on this for some time, and Maria is aware of it. I have been saying it for some time that it will be a 3-0 clean sweep for the BJP in the Hindi heartland. Now, there are two factors which are very evident. One is the pro-incumbency sentiment on the ground for Prime Minister Modi and for Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Shivraj Singh Chouhan ji. But on the other hand, what is equally important is the anger and the animosity people today have for the Congress party because of its duplicity on a range of issues. Number one, the way it presided over and facilitated the attacks, the orchestrated attacks against the Sanatan Dharma. Number two, the way it has unleashed financial anarchy in Himachal Pradesh and in Karnataka through its fake guarantees. And number three, through its all-out corruption, through its duplicity on the issue on important issues like caste census and its divisive nature. So I think this paves the way for a very big win for the BJP in 2024. And look at it, even allies of the Congress party or supposed allies of the Congress party, Akhilesh Yadav has been calling out Congress's hypocrisy. Today
Congress
people
has
of the country.
Tuhin, I agree with you post these results, because in a direct contest between regional satrap, they'll say that in context of Telangana, yes, we have done well. But Veera, you wanted to come in.
No, Maria, I was just going to go back to the point that you made about leadership and you know, the Prime Minister being the star campaigner, and somebody, we were juxtaposing it with Karnataka. The lesson I think the BJP has learnt from Karnataka is that even if you want to move forward, don't give a public image of sidelining the leader. What happened with Yediyurappa is very different from what you saw in Madhya Pradesh, where Shivraj Singh Chouhan...
And what happened with Vasundhara Raje,
yes,
in the last moment you had...
You did not send the message that you have alienated them.
Yes.
You kept the regional satrap as well as you went out, and I think that's part of the strategy. But I think the bigger lesson as far as the Congress is concerned is what Vishnu was also pointing out, that there is definitely clearly seeming to be a north-south divide, at least from the way I see it down south, because several Congress leaders, Vishnu, who we met in Hyderabad, were supremely confident about Chhattisgarh. They were slightly nervous about Madhya Pradesh. Rajasthan, they weren't willing to talk too much, but Madhya Pradesh, they were nervous, and I remember them saying 125. So I think that would be a hit. And Chhattisgarh, I think a lot of Congress leaders were extremely confident that they were going to get through.
I've just got a message from those close to Jyotiraditya Scindia coming in, and then I'll go across to Deshratna Nigam on how the Scindia factor, they say, has actually won. It's based on their analysis of the situation in the state, in the counting. On almost all seats where Jyotiraditya Scindia's loyalists were contesting, or where he campaigned heavily, which would be in the Guna, Shivpuri, Gwalior area, it's 15-1. According to Scindia loyalists, on the BJP versus the Congress, they say it is an impressive lead for the BJP in these areas. Now, this is interesting because Deshratna Nigam, there were those who questioned what would actually take place with Jyotiraditya Scindia. Was he actually making the mark for the BJP in the state? If this is true, and I'm telling you off the top, this is coming from his supporters, but if it is true, then, you know, it just goes to show that he remains very strong in the state.
I'll just take that question forward with one more thing, that in this belt of Chambal and Gwalior, the point was that the workers of the BJP had done anti-Maharaja politics. That was the sense. But here is the Maharaja who jumps the ship, becomes part of the BJP, and still the workers were okay with ensuring that the party wins. So I think that is the interesting shift that is winning.
26-7 last time in Chambal.
But Deshratna just answered that question. Please. I mean, the Scindia factor.
See, absolutely right. See, Scindia has been able to establish himself in BJP now. And especially the kinds of trends that are showing. And there he's completely, you know, assimilated himself in the BJP. He is also transformed. It is not that the BJP is the only person who's adjusted with Scindia. Scindia is also very well adjusted, and he's a young dynamic leader, no doubt about it. He has a hold in that particular region, and combining it with BJP's, you know, workers, the strength of the workers which the BJP has, and the Prime Minister's charisma, I think all the three factors in that particular region has done wonders to BJP.
Right.
There's no doubt about it. So far as North-South divide is concerned, let me tell you, even in the last elections, the BJP had lost the Karnataka elections. But there was a sweep in the Lok Sabha elections. So you cannot have that North-South divide in the Lok Sabha elections. Please remember that.
It could be the other way around as well. Who knows?
Yes.
No, but last time in 2018, just a quick point, sir. 2018, BJP was the single largest party in Karnataka.
Yeah.
In 2019, they swept the parliamentary election. This time, of course, you have an alliance with
Okay,
JDS,
I know everybody wants to come in. I'm just going to have to wait for a moment. Again, the sponsors, Veera Raghav, important. We need to keep the business running. We need to take a short break at this stage. We'll come back with the very latest. And Aarti has a couple of key points to make. We'll be back. Stay tuned.
Get comfy this Christmas with Pillow Pad Fold Away from JML. The multi-angle viewing stand that makes any device easy to see, comfortable and hands-free. The plush microfiber ledge holds any device securely at the perfect viewing angle. And it comes with a handy storage compartment. It's a great gift for sofa surfers. Whether you're sitting, lounging or lying down, get the perfect view with Pillow Pad Fold Away. Only $19.99 from Asda, Argos, Boots, Tesco and JMLDirect.com.
More broadband switchers? Choose us. And this Black Friday, EE Broadband is free.
Give us
a sort of profile without disclosing too much of its, but you know, the kind of startups that excite you today, because Zomato, Policy Bazaar, Naukri, great innings, but I'm wondering today what kind of companies, what are the elements of these companies?
So I tell you, we don't do it top down. We don't say, hey, this is a good sector, let's go for it. If we'd done that in 2010, we would never have invested in Zomato because there was no restaurant listing sector. We would not have done Policy Bazaar in 2008 because there was no insurance comparison sector. We look at companies that are creating new categories, entrepreneurs, breaking new ground, and therefore we do it bottom up. We meet 1,000 startups a quarter, or at least look at 1,000 startups a quarter, meet maybe about 500, and we invest in 3 or 4 a quarter.
Okay.
Okay. And we start with first principles, bottom up. Is there some evidence of natural traction? Is there some indication that the value proposition is so good that the customer will really want this? Are customers using it? Are they happy? Are they coming back again and again? Is the company getting some sales? Right? Are customers paying real money for this? And is that real money higher than the cost? So that's the first thing. Then we look at the quality of the team and the founders. Right? And then maybe 100 other things. But these two are absolutely important. Very important also is there some IP that is being created?
Always look epic. And it's on the UK's best network for 10 years. So shop our unreal Samsung deals in the EE Black Friday sale. But only until the 7th of December. Because, more Samsung owners choose EE.
So you want the confidence to hit that high note. Here's how. Get the Harry's trial set.
This World AIDS Day, join the fight against HIV. I'm Ayushman Khurrana. This World AIDS Day on the 1st of December, come be a part of the Banega Swasth India campaign and be the change with me. One World Hygiene, 10 kadam, 10 kadam.
It's the semi-final before the big 2024 final. The high-stakes battles in the 5 states.
Can Gehlot stop the Rajasthan revolving door this time? Or will the Modi magic trump Gehlot ka jadoo?
Is this the toughest political battle for Shivraj Singh Chouhan in 2 decades in MP? Will Kamal Nath turn the electoral
to call Madhya Pradesh in favor of the BJP with a 157 to 70. We are well into the counting at this stage, and the Congress down 44 at this stage. The BJP well above the majority mark of 116. If you take a look at Rajasthan, again, some had suggested it would be close, but this isn't close at all. The BJP well ahead of the Congress. It appears that the internal differences of the Congress party, what they tried to do in terms of SOPs has not worked out as well, and that some of what the BJP was trying to talk about in terms of corruption certainly being one of the key things against the Gehlot government, the problems within the Congress, the lack of cohesiveness over there has worked in favor of the BJP. One of the most remarkable elections this time around, and we are getting to a stage when we should be able to call Telangana as well, is the Congress's remarkable performance in the state of Telangana, where at 71 and up 52, they are directly have gained at the cost of the BRS. The BJP, which was just last time around, is up to 8 seats if these trends become results. But the Congress will come to par, it appears at this stage, at Telangana. Mizoram results will be declared tomorrow. Question, is this a clear north-south divide we are seeing? Remember, a couple of months back, Karnataka, the Congress had done well.
That's coming
in Telangana, the Congress doing well as well. But other states, BJP all the way.
Yeah. Those visuals that are coming in now, Narendra Tomar, Agriculture Minister, Civil Aviation Minister in Jyotiraditya Scindia, and the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Shivraj Singh Chouhan. Well, it's very clear that Shivraj Singh Chouhan could, very well be the man that the central leadership could choose, and rule that out at the moment. But yes, those visuals are interesting because the party wanted to send that message that 3 union ministers, 4 MPs and a general secretary in Kailash Vijayvargiya, all of them have to be on ground. All of them must contest. In fact, Jyotiraditya Scindia may have also contested, but he had in fact ensured that all his loyalists jumped the ship and joined the BJP. They were fielded this time around. But what a fascinating picture that's coming in, Sanjay Singh.
Collective leadership on display.
Collective leadership.
Yeah.
It is a show of strength without a doubt. It's early days, but they're clear. And I think it is interesting. It does appear that Shivraj Singh Chouhan, there's no real reason why the BJP would necessarily replace him at this stage as Chief Minister. But the top leaders of the BJP out there, talking amongst themselves, extremely calm. Maria, you wanted to go across and take a look at the regions in Madhya Pradesh,
yes,
which I think would be really interesting as we analyze this performance and
yes,
also some of the key leads. Go ahead.
Yes, so Shivraj Singh Chouhan, the man of the moment in many ways. You may say that this election was about brand Narendra Modi, but if there are women of the state and women of Madhya Pradesh, they may have emerged for Shivraj Singh Chouhan. And the fact that he said that he will be only adding to the schemes, not announcing fresh guarantees. So what he did was to ensure and send that message that yes, when it is about a chief minister of 18 years, it is also about showing a report card. It's not about making promises alone. Let's look at the region-wise, because I think it becomes important to look at various regions of Madhya Pradesh and how they voted last time around and how the picture has completely shifted this time around. We are starting with Bundelkhand. Look at this. Bundelkhand right now, BJP up 7, Congress down 5. What had happened in Bundelkhand in 2018 becomes important because there was a 5% gap between the BJP and the Congress. The BJP even then had done very well. It had won 10 more seats than the Congress in Bundelkhand. So it's only bettering its performance. It's becoming better than what it had last time around. Let's look at another region now in Madhya Pradesh, and this is the very important Chambal belt. The vote share gap between the BJP and the Congress was good 7% last time around, with the Congress having a 7% advantage at 41%, the BJP at 34%. The seat conversion was that the BJP had just 7 and the Congress had won twice that number, almost 24. Just look at what is the picture right now. The Congress is going down. The BJP has really come up in this Chambal belt. This is where the Scindia factor is at play. Now looking at Mahakaushal, 42.8% is what the Congress had won. They had won 28 seats in 2018. The BJP had won 40% vote share. It had won 18 seats. If we look at these numbers, the BJP going up by 5, the Congress down by 6. This is where the BSP factor, though very minuscule, comes at play. But Mahakaushal should be a matter of concern here. Ma'am, and please weigh in on this. This is where Chhindwara is.
Right. So, and I think Kamal Nath is also losing his seat, or he's trailing behind what I heard. So that is real cause of concern. Even though I would say that Kamal Nath played it very safe. When the anti-Sanatan rant was happening, he never commented. Rather, he was also seen with Bageshwar Dham and other people, you know, other sadhus.
And he said that he built the biggest Hanuman temple in Chhindwara.
Yeah, but I think the OBC factor is going to play a very important role in all these elections. And when even the women's bill was passed, the Congress tried to show off that, you know, that the OBCs are not in favor of this bill because the women are not getting representation. But I think that OBC politics is very clearly shown here, that they stand with the BJP in all the 3 states.
And particularly it becomes important because this is the belt which is closer to Maharashtra.
Yes.
And a victory for the BJP would also mean consolidation in Maharashtra as well. So it's only good news as far as this belt is concerned, and certainly very, very worrying for the Congress party if they were to lose this important belt of Mahakaushal. Shifting focus now to Malwa. As they say, Malwa is bellwether for the state of Madhya Pradesh. In Malwa, the BJP had won 40 seats, the Congress had won 45. Just look at the numbers here. BJP up 25 seats at 65. These numbers are only going up. The Congress down 23. And Malwa Nimar is where, come in on this, Rajat, was in 2018, you had that entire farmers' unrest.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now that farmer unrest is a history. If you were not able to do well in 2018, then you would not do well even this time around.
No, I agree. I mean, look at right from the Neemuch belt all the way till Indore belt. The entire base was the clear Hindutva belt for the BJP. We have seen that repeatedly. This has been the bastion of the BJP. Even within Madhya Pradesh, this is something which has stuck behind BJP. And this landslide has showered its blessings yet again on the BJP. Clearly, it was here where Rahul Gandhi went in and started, calling out names to the Prime Minister. That did not work. Any kind of personal attacks that Congress kept doing, none of that worked, and we saw huge consolidation.
And BJP in charge of these elections there, Ashwini Vaishnav on our television screens, where he is present at the war room there. But interesting development there. Would you say, Sanjay Singh, a quick word on Ashwini Vaishnav, an IS officer who we met also at the BJP office recently, and he said, we are winning Madhya Pradesh, we are winning all the states.
That again is very interesting story. Somebody who was not a politician,
yes,
an IS officer, then turned
from the state of Odisha.
Turned technocrat, coming back into politics, becoming an minister, and he interested with charge of some state as important as Madhya Pradesh. Of course, there were other leaders, but he was one key player. So therefore, you make a strategy, you involve all kinds of players, people who are good with strategy, people who are good with technology, people who can foresee something else which others cannot see. So therefore, it was a great combination. Prime Minister Modi's charisma coming into the play. And one important point which was mentioned just now, when you do gali to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, just the reverse happens. And these elections in these 3 states have proved that.
So basically, any attack, a direct attack or personal attack against the Prime Minister doesn't work. Election after election, it has come in. Here is Ashwini Vaishnav giving laddus now, distributing laddus. They have reasons to cheer. A technocrat, as we have been saying, we are leaving you with these visuals. We are coming back. It's a day of celebrations for the BJP. 2 states having won convincingly. They are heading for
saffron, this thing also. So double celebration for BJP and their sympathizers.
Okay, bye bye everyone.
मध्य प्रदेश में बहुत शानदार जीत है भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो मध्य प्रदेश में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने काम किया है। डबल इंजन की सरकार के प्रति जो जन जन का विश्वास है, मोदी जी के नेतृत्व के प्रति जो जन जन का विश्वास है, और जिस तरह से शिवराज जी की परफॉर्मेंस रही, काम हुआ है, उसके आज परिणाम सबके सामने है। संगठन ने जो काम किया उसके परिणाम सबके सामने है। बहुत अच्छी जीत है। मध्य प्रदेश की जनता को सबको बधाई।
सर, राजस्थान और छत्तीसगढ़ में भी लीड मिल रही है सब उसको लेकर।
This show isn't just about news from the southern states. It's one that looks at the rest of India and the world from a diverse South India point of view, because NDTV has always taken the southern view seriously.
The Southern View with Veera Raghav, only on NDTV 24/7.
Tell you something, I'll give you a little story of something that we did about maybe 15 years ago. At that time, we didn't know we were doing AI. It just looked like a smart algorithm. Now, it'll probably be classified as AI, okay? Or borderline AI, right? So at Naukri, we've got 80 million resumes. Recruitment managers come, log in, and they search this database of resumes to try and identify candidates they want to contact to hire them. Now, because the 80 million resumes, we have a problem of plenty. So the HR manager, the recruitment manager, puts in some criteria, say B.Tech computer science qualification, 3 to 5 years experience, and keywords Java, C++, right? Location Bangalore, right? He puts these in the structured fields, and maybe 500,000 matches are found. Now, there are many, many, many unarticulated criteria which the recruitment manager cannot put in the form. But the moment he sees the CV, he says yes, no basis, judgment. So and therefore what used to happen was that in the first page of the finds, he'd find 2 relevant resumes, although they all matched the criteria he put down. Page 2 and 3, nothing. Page 5, 3 more. So it would take him about 100 pages to get 50 good resumes. That would take him maybe half an hour to 45 minutes, right? And we said, is there a way we can identify these unarticulated criteria and somehow put all the relevant ones at the top on the first page? If you can save about a half an hour of your client's time.
And you managed to do that successfully?
Yes, we developed an algorithm. It took us a couple of years. We developed an algorithm that did precisely that. And it worked like a miracle because, only 5 people in the company knew how it worked. And the moment we introduced it, our sales team all got calls from clients saying, what is this? What have you done? This is fantastic, right? Now, that's how smart programming, AI, ML can help you.
And proprietary.
And proprietary.
This World AIDS Day, join the fight against HIV. I'm Ayushmann Khurrana. This World AIDS Day on the 1st of December, come be a part of the Banega Swasth India campaign and be the change with me. One World Hygiene, 10 kadam, 10 kadam.
It's the semi-final before the big 2024 final. The high-stakes battles in the 5 states.
Can Gehlot stop?
Well, the only bit of good news today for the Congress is coming from South India in Telangana, where the party, as you see on your screen, leading in 70 seats. The BRS, a mighty blow for the mighty K. Chandrasekhar Rao. Until 6 months ago, Maria, I don't think anyone even thought that BRS and KCR were in shaky ground. And until 2 weeks ago, the BRS did not believe that they were in shaky ground, but anti-incumbency, 10 years of anti-incumbency, family rule, doing in that regional satrap.
And just look at Chhattisgarh now, Veera.
Yeah.
In 2 minutes break that we took, BJP is 51. They have crossed the 50-itch. Congress at 37. So if these numbers hold and the momentum building for the BJP in Chhattisgarh, then it appears certainly that they'll have much to celebrate in the next 1.5 hours, because nobody got Chhattisgarh right.
That's right.
Professor Sandeep Shastri, a quick word on Chhattisgarh, and also Sanjay Kumar. Just look at that Chhattisgarh number.
Chhattisgarh was always seen as a tough fight, and given the Congress history of the last 10 years of not being able to hold on to a seat that they were in power in, I think Chhattisgarh only reconfirms that trend. And I think it also is indicative of the fact that a large chunk of the tribal vote in Chhattisgarh has actually moved to the BJP.
Yes.
If this trend were to hold, I think these factors will be important to keep in mind.
So Birsa Munda celebrations that happened in Jharkhand, timed with
They
the
always
messaging
have their
going
impact in a neighboring state.
Chhattisgarh, Maria, because Chhattisgarh Bastar election took place before the Birsa Munda.
Yes, so but the substantive chunk, because that was 20 seats before that.
That was
and
all
the 70
those were the tribal areas
yes.
largely. I think the Birsa Munda function may have had an impact in Madhya Pradesh, amongst the tribals.
Okay,
yes.
Sanjay sir?
No, it is a surprise for, I think, most of the analysts, including me. But I thought it is important for us to let the viewers know that in most of these constituency, they would be counting for 19 and 20 round. And except for one constituency where it has been completed for 6 and 7 round, counting is in progress only in the 2nd and the 3rd round. So there is a lot to come. I'm not saying this lot is going to change the fortunes of party in Chhattisgarh, but I think we need to wait. Out of 18, 19, 20 rounds, only 3 or 4 rounds have been completed. So not even 1/10 of the counting has been completed. Let's not jump to the conclusion that BJP is heading for a very big victory in Chhattisgarh. Maybe things will go in favor of BJP, but I think it is going to be it is going to be much closer compared to what it looks like at this moment.
Okay, let's look at Chhattisgarh numbers more region-wise, and I will ask the PCR director and producer to put those images on these television screens. Those are visuals coming in of celebrations from all the BJP headquarters, from Jaipur to Bhopal to now Raipur as well. Raman Singh, the former chief minister, has spoken just few minutes back, but just look at these numbers. We are starting with central Chhattisgarh. This is where the Congress had won 29 seats last time around with a vote share of 43%. They are, and the vote share gap between the BJP and the Congress was good 10%, the BJP at 33. Just look at the shift which is visible now. BJP up 14, Congress down 10. Moving to North Chhattisgarh now. And North becomes important because, you know, we say that perhaps this is the belt which had the impact, correct me, Professor Shastri, of what is, you know, the pitch of Birsa Munda in Jharkhand. Okay, so we are looking at North. You have seen the picture of North. Okay, so we are going straight to Diya Kumari because Vedant is in conversation with her.
And poised to win your Vidyadhar Nagar seat. क्या आपको आश्वस्त है पूरी तरीके से कि बीजेपी पूर्ण बहुमत से वापस आएगी?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार राजस्थान में बन रही है, छत्तीसगढ़ में बन रही है और मध्य प्रदेश में बन रही है। इतना एक्सपेक्ट नहीं किया था, लेकिन एक्सपेक्टेशन से ज्यादा बड़ी जीत होने वाली है। बहुत खुशी है, सब में कार्यकर्ताओं में खुशी की लहर है और जनता में भी है। जनता अपने उखाड़ फेंक दी है इस कांग्रेस की भ्रष्टाचारी सरकार को, और भारतीय जनता पार्टी की ऐसी अच्छी सरकार, स्थिर सरकार जो जनता के लिए काम करे, जनता के हित के लिए काम करे, महिलाओं को सुरक्षा दे, युवाओं को रोजगार दे, किसानों को न्याय दिलाए, ऐसी सरकार के लिए जनता ने वोट किया है, राजस्थान की जनता ने।
क्या फैक्टर रहा, सबसे बड़ा फैक्टर क्या रहा? अभी परिणाम पूरी तरीके से नहीं आए, लेकिन बीजेपी के ये जो नतीजे सामने दिख रहे हैं, क्या सबसे बड़ा फैक्टर रहा? महिलाओं की तादाद बहुत बड़ी है यहाँ पर, आपके तमाम समर्थक यहाँ पर आए, आपके हिसाब से सबसे बड़ा फैक्टर क्या रहा? क्या ये मोदी फैक्टर है, वसुंधरा फैक्टर है, दिया कुमारी फैक्टर है, महिला फैक्टर है, क्या फैक्टर है?
भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं की मेहनत है और पूरी तरह से मोदी सरकार पर विश्वास है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी पे विश्वास जताया है जनता ने, राजस्थान की, मध्य प्रदेश की और छत्तीसगढ़ की। बहुत ही खुशी की लहर है पूरे राजस्थान में, पूरे भारत में, और इसमें लोकसभा में तो पता नहीं कितनी सीटें आएंगी इस बार, तो बहुत ही खुशी की बात है।
और एक बार ये बताइए, यहाँ पर आपके तमाम समर्थक ये कह रहे हैं कि आपको मुख्यमंत्री बनना चाहिए, क्या आप राजस्थान की अगली मुख्यमंत्री बनेंगी?
ऐसा ये तो बहुत ही सवाल का कोई मतलब नहीं है, क्योंकि देखिए पार्लियामेंट्री बॉडी डिसाइड करेगा जो भी मुख्यमंत्री।
तो आपने ये डिसीजन आला कमान पे छोड़ा हुआ है?
मैंने क्या सबने छोड़ रखा है, इसमें हमें तो रिस्पॉन्ड करने का भी कोई मतलब नहीं।
Alright, so that was Diya Kumari speaking exclusively to NDTV, saying that she has left the decision to the High Command.
Well, Maria, what's going to happen now? Let's look forward. We will look at Telangana a little later in terms of who's going to become Chief Minister. In Rajasthan, is it a done deal? What do you think is going to play out?
But interesting that Diya Kumari is the first leader who has spoken out to journalists in Rajasthan, and interesting again because she is in Jaipur. But let me bring in Harsha, who's joining us as well. Diya Kumari, Princess of Jaipur, royal family. Harsha, and someone who stepped into Rajasthan's political arena only 10 years ago, but played an important and interesting role in the last 10 years, and particularly in these elections. Is she the new woman factor in the state?
Well, I think definitely, you know, she's definitely been promoted by the central leadership, and it's definitely to offset royal versus royal, woman versus woman. So if they were looking for someone who had Vasundhara Raje's charisma and perhaps would not be as, you know, uncomfortably strong, then they may have just found it in Diya Kumari. Just look at the fact that she got Vidyadhar Nagar. It was an absolutely safe seat. There was talk in the BJP circles that lots of people were trying for Vidyadhar Nagar, but apparently it had been, you know, sort of kept for her. So safe seat from Rajsamand, Vidyadhar Nagar, definitely a rising star on the political horizon of the BJP. And here, of course, the BJP moved very, very upbeat here. You can see behind me, those garlands are being put up here at the BJP office. So they're getting ready now because the results are more or less in. And let me also tell you that there's an important meeting that's going on here. Gajendra Singh Shekhawat and other senior BJP leaders are here at the BJP office, you know, in a meeting, while of course the Karyakartas and the workers are celebrating outside.
Yes, so Dol Nagada at the BJP office in Jaipur, and you had heard from Jaipur ki beti, that's what Diya Kumari is often called, and she is among the 7 MPs that the BJP had fielded this time around. And as Harsha was saying, that Vidyadhar Nagar is a safe constituency, but you know, the larger message is she the one? We really do not know
who the one is.
Who is the one now, because the story of Jaipur and particularly of Rajasthan will move ahead.
I believe we can go across to Arvind as well, who's there at the BJP headquarters here in New Delhi. Arvind, what are you picking up? Any word on who is going to take the top job there in Rajasthan that you can hint us with?
Veera, when it comes to BJP, no one can speculate or no one can report the name unless until it's officially announced by the BJP leadership. So let's not take the risk of second guessing when it comes to a party like BJP. So let's leave it for the party to officially announce the name. So keeping that aside, so preparations are underway for grand celebrations here at BJP headquarters in the national capital. So post 6 p.m. we can expect all the senior leaders of BJP arriving at the party headquarters from BJP National President JP Nadda, followed by Home Minister, and somewhere close to 7 p.m. we can expect Prime Minister also to arrive here at BJP headquarters, where the party will celebrate the victory in all the 3 states. Party is very hopeful that they'll be winning all the 3 states, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and also Telangana. So close to 7 p.m. we can expect Prime Minister to be here, and then Prime Minister will be addressing the gathering also. That will be somewhere around 8 p.m. So as usual, though Congress started the day with crackers and with celebrations, as the tradition or as how things were has always been in the last 7-8 years. Again, at the end of the day, it will be BJP which will be celebrating in a grand manner, bagging almost 3 out of 4 seats or 4 states, something that's a huge victory for BJP. So we can expect the celebrations to kickstart here post 6 p.m. But as expected, that BJP was confident throughout that they will be winning all the 3 states, with Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh making it clear that the party will be winning handsome. But when it comes to Chhattisgarh, things are quite, we did go through the Election Commission data, almost 15 to 16 seats, where the margin is somewhere around 1,000 between.
Yes, Arvind. So Arvind there was saying that around 15 to 20 seats is where the margin between the BJP and the Congress is less than 1,000. But just look at the numbers of Chhattisgarh, because, you know, nobody gave BJP a chance in Chhattisgarh. And if we were to look at the gap, it's only consolidating for the BJP going ahead. Aarti is joining us from our election war room. Aarti, let's look at the Chhattisgarh big numbers. What are the big data center of NDTV? Give us a sense of how many seats between the BJP and the Congress are in the gap of less than 500, and how many rounds are over in Chhattisgarh, how many more rounds to go?
Absolutely. Now, this is the data center that NDTV has set up, where, of course, the numbers are now stabilizing, and Parmetu will be able to tell us exactly how these numbers have worked in Chhattisgarh. A big turnaround for BJP in Chhattisgarh, sir. Could you explain to us how that's happened over the course of time, and in the following rounds of counting, what we are yet to see?
Yes, in Chhattisgarh, everybody was expecting that the Bhupesh Baghel will form another government. He will repeat as a CM, but the things got changed. And if you look the tally into the region-wise, it is the Congress who got set back in the southern region, which includes the Bastar and Sarguja region. So Congress did very well in last time, almost they clean sweep. So this time, out of 16 seats, Congress is getting only 6 seats. So loss of 9 seats in the southern region. Congress is doing well, means in comparison to 3 of the region, they are doing well in the central region. Out of 42, Congress is getting 19, even though they have loss of 10 seats in comparison to 2018. But in north and south, they are doing really poor. BJP is leading on 21 seats out of 32 seats, which comes in northern Chhattisgarh. So, and the Congress CM Bhupesh Baghel, he himself is trailing in the Patan seats. And the BJP, they gave ticket to their 4 MPs, and the 4 of them now leading. Even the Mr. Baghel's nephew, Vijay Baghel, who is a sitting MP in Durg, he is leading in that seat of the Patan. So things got changed, and the last time BJP means the BJP's main face was Prime Minister Modi. This time they decided that they should not go with any state face. They went to the campaign in the collective face. Means the face was PM Modi, and on the Mahadev scam, they targeted Congress. They raised the issue of corruption. I think that worked well in that region. And the tribal seats where Congress did very well in those areas, this time they focused on.
Okay, we are going straight to Anurag Dwari, who is where Shivraj Singh Chouhan is. Many would say he's the man of the moment, but we really do not know whether he'll have another chance. Over to you, Anurag. How many laddus did you have?
Yes, Maria. And while we cover Shivraj, I'll tell you the story of a young rapper who composed "Apna Mama Aayega" और "Apna Mama Aa Gaya." आप चलते चलते अपना नाम बता दीजिए और गाना सुना दीजिए.
My name is औशनिक दुबे और मैंने एक गाना लिखा था जो कि मुझे बुला के परफॉर्म करवाया. गाना कुछ ऐसा जाता है, अपना मामा आएगा जो करता सबकी बात है और रखता सबका साथ है, विकास को करवाने की कामयाबी अब उठाएगा, आएगा अपना मामा आएगा, इनके जैसा काम ये विपक्ष ना कर पाएगा, ये स्वच्छता का आना सारी थैलियां हटाएगा, जितना उनने लूटा है तू उतना ही अब पाएगा, ऐसा इनका ख्वाब है जो दल को भी अड़ाएगा, जिंदा इनका ख्वाब अब आगे बढ़ते जाएगा.
आपके मामा वहां आ गए हैं और अपने मैं कैमरा सहयोगी से कहूंगा कि वो आपको सीधी तस्वीरें दिखाएं मुख्यमंत्री निवास में. We are just inside the CM's official residence here in Bhopal, and you can see Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chouhan. If my camera person can just show you those visuals where he's wearing a pagdi, and hundreds of BJP workers here in Bhopal, and just they're trying to get a glimpse of Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chouhan. As CM Shivraj Singh Chouhan has said that the BJP will bounce back with a huge majority, and also many of the exit polls they predicted the same. And now we can see Congress workers, I beg your pardon, BJP workers trying to get take a picture or interview with Shivraj Singh Chouhan, and his saying we will try and talk to the Chief Minister.
I just want to, as Anurag tries to get us those pictures, and as we wait for potentially words from Shivraj Singh Chouhan there, I want to put this across. There you see the NDTV mic right next to Shivraj Singh Chouhan. It's competing with the laddus and the garlands. Getting to Shivraj.
To ignore him.
I just wanted to ask you guys, sorry, I wanted to ask you, Maria, as well as the panel in general, this question.
After a few minutes, and he has gone inside the official of Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chouhan in Bhopal, but he promised us that he will give the interview, and I can see
those are fascinating visuals. Reminds me of what we have seen inside one Anne Marg in Patna. Because as a Bihari journalist, I keep talking about it every now and then, Professor Shastri. You have here a Chief Minister, you cannot ignore him. Because the Ladli Behna could very well have been the deciding factor here.
Though in earlier debates today we have been saying that if BJP has a sweep in Madhya Pradesh like what it seems to be, maybe the central leadership of the BJP would have an opportunity to take a call. But I'm not too sure now, given the increasing.
The first interaction that he had with media, the first thing he mentioned was about the Bhopal gas tragedy. He went on for good 5 minutes talking about that tragedy. Today is the day in the early morning hours when there were so many people who were found dead. He kept addressing to the people that emotional bond that he has supersedes all politics, and this is why he on one side stands one of the tall. He's the greatest of all times.
So we may need to
longest-serving Chief Minister of India.
So you need to understand this is not because of politics, freebies. All of that is secondary. It's the emotional connect. He knows how to read people's hearts and minds like no other.
We will just have to go across to Renuka Chaudhary of the Congress as well as Shazia Ilmi of the BJP who are joining us. Renuka Chaudhary, first to you. You're from Khammam. It has been your constituency. What a win it's been for the Congress as far as Telangana is concerned. But now the only question that remains, who's going to become Chief Minister in Telangana? Is there going to be a tug of war there, or do you see this settled very amicably?
It will be settled very amicably, let me tell you, because all our observers are here and the MLAs will give their opinion, and I'm very, very sure that it's going to be a unanimous choice. It's been pretty much like that.
Would you bet and say today at the moment that Revanth Reddy stands the most important choice of becoming Chief Minister? And also, who would you credit this victory to? The state leadership or the central leadership of the Congress?
Look, we have to be realistic. It was Sonia Gandhi ji who had decided, and single-handedly she battled in Parliament and bestowed the statehood for Telangana. The youth face of Priyanka and Rahul and the Bharat Jodo Yatra was a flashpoint which had the ripple effect which came into the states. And then subsequently in the state leadership got their act together. You can't afford to ignore Revant Reddy. The fact of the matter is that he was the visible face. He is the visible face who put up a huge fight against the KCR and the BRS. And single-handedly, he even went and contested against the Chief Minister, against the sitting Chief Minister.
Kamal Reddy is actually...
And he's leading there.
I do believe that you can't afford to ignore him. And of course, we are lucky that we have so much talent in the Congress party. We have many aspirants for this post.
But the talent is restricted to the south, ma'am, and the north. In Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, there seems to be trouble.
Rajasthan, even Chhattisgarh, seen as a popular chief minister. I mean, as far as the popularity quotient is concerned, you did not have an unpopular chief minister in Bhupesh Baghel.
Yes. That came as a nasty surprise. Let me tell you, because Bhupesh Baghel has been very steady and he's delivered on many fronts, and so that has come as a very rude shock if indeed, I don't know how many rounds are left because I've been on TV all the while, but that is a nasty surprise, and we'll have to quickly introspect and get back on the ground.
20 seats gap between the BJP and the Congress in the state of Chhattisgarh, Shazia, and now the Congress below 70 in Madhya Pradesh. You know, you may say, I told you so. If these numbers hold, then BJP has much to cheer. Nobody was giving Chhattisgarh to you. It is not a cliffhanger. It's a convincing victory if these numbers hold. As we are saying, it's 12-20 now. Trend is clear. Madhya Pradesh is a sweep bigger than any victory that the party has seen. Rajasthan, again, it's a huge, huge success.
Absolutely, Maria. I'll come to that very soon because I know I want to talk about, and I know you're interested in talking about women leaders and women voters. But before that, I would like to comment on what Renuka ji just said. It is so unfortunate. And while I want to congratulate her and her party on the victory in Telangana, it is very sad for me to hear that again the credit is being given to not the leaders, not the state leadership, not to the carters, not to the workers, but same old family. So Sonia ji, Rahul ji, and Priyanka ji. Now this spells a difference. This is the difference between BJP and Congress. Thankfully, Renuka ji spelled it out for all of us to see. It is there, for the writing is on the wall.
Who would you credit the victories in MP and Rajasthan possibly?
Let me finish. Let me finish. Maria, look at this. Now one more thing. Rajasthan, I mean, forget about Nari Samman, there was Nari Apman. And the law and order situation. I will not even go into paper leak. I will not even go into red diary. I want to singularly talk about that. In Madhya Pradesh, and I have seen it with my own eyes, women have not just voted happily in huge numbers. They have blessed Shivraj ji. It's like हम वोट दे रहे हैं, दुआ के साथ वोट दे रहे हैं. आप हमारे अपने हो. आपका अपना कौन है? What is that अपनापन? What is that sense of relatability and belonging? And that is the credibility I'm talking about. And this is exactly what happened in Chhattisgarh too. Yes, we can talk about the Cowdung scam, Mahadev scam, and all the sattebazi that went on, and also the rice scam. But essentially, it is the women voters who have in huge throngs supported and believed in and trusted the leadership of our Prime Minister and all who are part of that vision and that mission to make India great, to do better, to have
Shazia, just
poverty
adding to the
alleviation.
point that you're making,
very fact,
everybody thought that when a special session of the parliament was called to ensure the passage of the women's reservation bill, that this is an issue which will resonate in urban pockets, Veera. But just look at it. I mean, whatever said and done,
it has,
let's be clear, all the factors are at play for the BJP here. If these numbers hold, they have got a comprehensive picture. It's a full plate thali, which has the meetha and the dal and the chawal and everything.
It's a fascinating story as far as Madhya Pradesh, as far as Rajasthan, and as far as Telangana is concerned for the Congress. I want to just get Mr. Pullarao involved in this. Are we seeing now a distinctive north-south divide? Here you swept Karnataka, which was a direct head-on battle with the BJP. You've decimated, the Congress has been able to run such a concerted campaign, decimate possibly the most powerful regional satrap in the south along with Jagan Reddy and MK Stalin. But for the last 10 years, an undisputed challenger. Whereas when it comes to the north, You see them struggling to fight in MP and Rajasthan. Is that an indication to come for times ahead?
I don't think so. I don't think so at all, because it so happened this vast anti-incumbency against KCR. It was expected. And to be very fair, 2014, 2018, the Gandhis canvassed and said, we gave you Telangana, we gave you. But Revant Reddy deserves the credit as a catalyst, as an energizer, and he used his 20 years of political skills in different parties. He deserves the skill. He mobilized it. If he was not there, I don't imagine the same result will be there.
What's your prognosis for K. Chandrasekhar Rao and the BRS?
Chandrasekhar Rao, if he has a vote percentage, he has to fight now. He is sandwiched between two national parties, and that's a very uncomfortable place for a regional party.
Quickly, do you see Telangana becoming a BJP versus Congress battle? A bipolar state, like we are observing that in Karnataka. JDS has formed an alliance with the BJP. There is a large sense that the Kumaraswamy will have to merge or enter the BJP at some point of time. It's becoming a bipolar battle there. Do you see Telangana also becoming a bipolar battle? Is that the takeaway this time?
The decline will take quite some time. The decline will not be precipitous in the sense that KCR vanishes from the scene. It will be there. He will be there.
Can I make one small comment? See, I think one thing is very clear that's coming out of these trends so far is that Narendra Modi has established his dominance in North India. I think that is really, really clear. And we may go on speculating, will Shivraj Singh Chouhan be the Prime Minister, will be the next Chief Minister or not? The decision will be taken in Delhi by Narendra Modi because he ran the campaign. He was the face of the campaign. He led it. He has never done as many rallies as, in any state election as he did in Madhya Pradesh, But that may not be true of South India, and this is where your point about the North-South divide, because he was a face in Karnataka, but he was not able to.
No, absolutely right. What Aarti is saying that, even if Shivraj Singh Chouhan is met the Chief Minister, but the campaign was led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and the studies which we have been doing, the post-poll study, we get a sense that out of every 1/4 of the BJP's vote is coming only and only because of Narendra Modi. Absolutely. So he is a catalyst for BJP voters. People have voted, a sizable number of people have voted for BJP
because I believe the Karnataka Congress Vokkaliga strongman DK Shivkumar, who is in charge of Hyderabad, they had kept him there, hoping that, if it's around 60-62, they needed his support to hold the MLAs. He's speaking there.
They should have sent him to some other state. Maybe.
Telangana have answered them. So, Rajya BJP
So I'll tell you this, Maria. Across the Telangana campaign, and I think I must just point this out, there was a sense of this Karnataka factor that was playing out. If we can go across
including putting out the advertisements.
No, more than that, it became the ATM for Telangana. I mean, this is the talks in Karnataka is that Telangana will just swipe out all the money from all contractors in Karnataka and funnel it into Telangana and do the campaign. No, this is the narrative because so much was bled. All the work, all contract work in Karnataka came to a standstill.
Be that as it may, I think there is a larger factor.
BRS pulled out a lot of money also.
I believe we can go across to an exclusive conversation with Ashwini Vaishnav.
This is not the only reason, but without
मध्य प्रदेश में डबल इंजन की सरकार पर जन जन का विश्वास है, मोदी जी की गारंटी पर जन जन का विश्वास है।
एक ही राज्य नहीं, कई राज्यों में इस बार बीजेपी ने जो दावे किए थे वो पूरे होते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं।
बिल्कुल, पूरे भारत में आज मोदी जी की गारंटी पर जन जन को विश्वास है।
सर, आपने एमपी को बेहद ही करीब से देखा है, क्या वजह रही जो इतने सीट लेकर आ रही है बीजेपी?
मैंने आपको कहा, देश में मोदी जी की गारंटी पर जन जन का भरोसा है।
देखिए, अश्विनी वैष्णव हमारे साथ मौजूद थे और उन्होंने यहाँ पर जो है गारंटी की बात की है। गारंटी पर मोदी की भरोसा है एमपी को, और यही उन्होंने जो है दावा किया है। जिस तरीके का माहौल आप देख रहे हैं पीछे बीजेपी कार्यालय में, जाहिर सी बात है अश्विनी वैष्णव ने पहले ही दावा कर दिया था कि 150 के ऊपर लेकर आएंगे, तो शायद जो रुझान है वो भी वही दिखाते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं। कैमरा पर्सन अभिषेक सिंह के साथ अमृतांशी जोशी, NDTV।
Ashwini Vaishnav there, who was in charge of the state of Madhya Pradesh. Interesting journey of the politician who came as a surprise factor as the rail mantri. in 2000, midway during the reshuffle, and given an important portfolio also as the IT minister, then given a political role in the state of Madhya Pradesh. So this is what the new BJP is. They believe in having all hands on deck.
Yeah.
Party leaders, MPs, ministers, chief ministers of various states, all of them are brought in to ensure that they play their role. You had a Himanta Biswa Sarma campaigning extensively in these poll-bound states. Many would say, what role does an Assam chief minister have to play? What role will an Assam chief minister play in these elections? Deshratan Nigam. So,
Well,
you know, this is also called micro picture that
yeah,
we keep
not
talking
even
about.
that. They caught Shinde also.
Shinde?
From Maharashtra. He's from a different party. He was coming in campaigning for the BJP in Madhya Pradesh. So that's how they kept the engine.
Increasingly, when I
rolling.
hear your conversations, I feel like there is the South-North divide becomes even more, because exactly the same thing happened for the Congress in the South. You had DK Shivkumar, you had Siddaramaiah. You know, the day Revanth Reddy went to file his nomination, Siddaramaiah went along with him. They wanted to send out an image of the OBC push, you know, in that sense. So it's quite fascinating how it's coming out. But I just wanted to bring focus, since you were mentioning Madhya Pradesh, Maria, and to you, sir, is, you know, how much has the Scindia factor really affected? Because Chambal was a region where the Congress swept last time, 26. This is Jyotiraditya Scindia's region of influence. How much, Maria, has that mattered? Is that a factor, A? And B, in Rajasthan, when you come down to Rajasthan, what has been the one that's tipped the sides?
Yes, I will take that question, particularly of the Chambal region, if I'll ask the producer to put that on
There,
our television screens. That's
That's
there.
up, that's on air.
So Congress in 2018 had 141.3% vote, and it had translated into 24 seats. The BJP had just 7. Look at the numbers now. The Congress is up to 16, which means they have gained 9 seats. It was being talked about as to what is the factor of Jyotiraditya Scindia. He sounded visibly confident. He says that, you know, he has played a role. How should that be read?
I think a lot would depend upon which are the 9 seats that the BJP has gained. Has it been seats which came to them when Scindia moved over to the party? That, I think, would decide. But I think in larger Madhya Pradesh, if I could put it in 3 words, there are 3 M's which have decided this verdict: Modi, Mamaji, and Mahila. It is these 3 factors across the state which has won them the verdict in Madhya Pradesh.
I think you'll have to add T also, tribals.
Tribals as well.
You know,
MMT, MMMT.
MMMT.
Triple MT.
And you know, when we talk about the Mahila voter, and I would ask, ma'am, please pitch in on this, because the Mahila voter is actually coming out with fascinating trend. They are going with an incumbent here, but they are not going with an incumbent in Rajasthan. I think the BJP as a trust factor has a bigger trust issue. You know, the women voters, they trust BJP more than they trust the Congress. So, ek taraf to guarantee thi that you're making some promises. Here it was Mamaji talking about the report card. This is what I've done. This is more I will do. And the fact was that the Ladli Lakshmi, the last disbursal, happened 3 days before the polling.
So, see, if you look at the 9 years which Modi ji has delivered, I think the focus has been completely on women. And look at the number of gas connections, look at the number of toilets that he has built. If you look at the number of other facilities, women's safety and other things, I think they have done tremendous work in keeping the women in focus. And that is what has, you know, benefited them. And like you said, that Shivraj ji is called as Mama ji, and Mama ji is supposed to take care of the girl child basically. So that sentiment has been, that emotional connect has been built, and I think that has added a lot to this particular thing. One more thing I would like to say in Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, what has happened is there has been lack of employment opportunities, and the male members of Rajasthan have been missing from Rajasthan. So if you look at the age group from 16 to 70, they have left Rajasthan and gone to other states.
That's a good
So because of that, the women have been left alone and they have to fetch on their own. So I think they have not got the benefits.
Factors that work out in an election. We'll go across to Shama Mohammed of the Congress as well. Shama comes from my part of the country, which is the south of India. Are you smiling or are you sad, Shama? You got Telangana, that's the only reason to smile. The other 3 have gone kaput for the Congress.
No, I'm happy, very happy with Telangana. I had predicted 70 and I think we will be there. So I'm very happy. But of course, as a congresswoman, upset about the three North Indian states, that is Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. More so with Rajasthan, as we all know, it's 5 years, like Himachal Pradesh. But I think Chhattisgarh is which I must say I'm shocked. Because that was a winning state. Exit polls also said that we are winning Chhattisgarh. So real introspection needs to know what happened there. Maybe, I believe, overconfidence. But in unlike the other states, I can just talk for Telangana, where I was there was micromanagement of the elections. I can tell you that about Telangana. Every aspect was looked in. Media was done very well. Everything, we took it up. Whether it's an EC, we had to complain to the EC, or any issues. You know, we did zone-wise press conferences by candidates in every assembly, and also the observers, everything. We saw to it that the 6 guarantees reached every home.
Agreed, it was an extremely concerted campaign, but I'm just going to look forward. I asked a question to Renuka Chaudhary a short while back. Do you believe Revant Reddy will be now the Chief Minister of Telangana? I know there is a process, let's not be diplomatic, but ultimately, do you believe that he is the most important factor as far as Telangana was concerned? A young energy, a campaign, image of Revant Anna, all that at the grassroots, something to solidify the anti-incumbency and the family rule allegations against KCR. Do you believe he's going to become CM?
Yeah, your audio is breaking, but I could understand whether you asked me a question on Revant Reddy.
I asked you whether Revant Reddy is going to become Chief Minister of Telangana.
Okay, so I can't say that. We all have a process in our party. It's a very democratic party. The MLAs will get together. There will be a CLP meeting. They will decide on the candidate who will be the Chief Minister. It comes to Delhi and the decision will be made. But I can tell you that being there, Revant Reddy ran a fantastic campaign. I saw his rallies myself. Lot of people, lot of vibrance. It was very good. Right. I must say that he led the campaign from the front, and no denying it. A lot of life and
Revant Reddy, just
he did a good job. No denying it. There were other leaders also.
He has beaten K. Chandrasekhar Rao in Kama Reddy constituency, where the third candidate is Venkatramana Reddy. I believe our colleague Uma Sudhir.
Also leading in Kodangal.
You know, Kodangal is his traditional seat. The fact that he went to Kama Reddy, where Shabir Ali, who was the candidate, was asked to shift to Nizamabad, and Kama Reddy, Revant Reddy contested to take on KCR, to send out an image of optics of challenger to KCR. I believe we can go across to Uma Sudhir as well. Uma, what are you picking up in terms of what we expect in the next few hours in Telangana? Do we expect all the legislatures? Obviously, they'll have to collect their certificates, the winning legislatures. Do we know when a CLP meeting will be held? Revant Reddy had said that December 9th, wasn't it? That the swearing-in will be there.
What is so special about December 9th?
His swearing-in, he said.
He didn't say his swearing-in. He said swearing-in will be there, whoever.
What I understand from other contenders is that they are, like you mentioned, many of them are going to be going to their constituencies to get their certificates. I have spoken to a couple of them who are being mentioned as the chief ministerial candidates, and one of them wanted to put his, put his candidature forward by arguing that he is going to be the person who is winning with the largest margin. In fact, he's spoken about the fact that in Nalgonda, Komat Reddy, Venkat Reddy is one of the most senior-most leaders of the Congress, and he is also talking about the fact that he is someone who is going to be winning with a margin of almost 60,000, he says. And besides, he's also pointing out that he is someone who has delivered all the assembly constituencies in his district, Nalgonda district itself, 12, and he believes that he is the one responsible for being able to deliver. And as a comparison, if we were to look at Revant Reddy, he's talking about Malkajgiri Lok Sabha constituency, from where Revant Reddy is the MP, Komat Reddy is the MP from Bongir, and he's saying that Revant Reddy has not been able to deliver the same number of seats from his constituency.
So, you know, you've already started seeing that. Maria just asked me a question, Uma, on why 9th of December? 9th of December, because that's Mrs. Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi's birthday. So he said the swearing-in will be...
Also, when contesting in Kodangal, he asked the question in the rally. Just as Rajshekar Reddy's constituency became famous when he became Chief Minister, just as Chandrababu Naidu's constituency became famous when he became Chief Minister, don't you want your constituency to be famous? He asked this question in the rally at Kodangal.
Oh, the games will begin. I think the games will begin in the BJP for Rajasthan. Madhya Pradesh seems very clear, if I may dare say so.
No, I think
Chhattisgarh is still game out open.
No, I think if you look at the numbers, Chhattisgarh, if it is at 54 at 1240, I think it's more or less consolidated.
Done and dusted.
It's done and
I think
dusted.
it's also time we need to start calling an election. But let's just listen to DK Shivkumar, Maria.
Yes.
I believe we have a soundbite from DK Shivkumar. We'll play that out for you and then we'll carry on this conversation.
For Telangana as well, do you call this a personal win for yourself? Please keep the mics down, please.
I don't
This place is not seen.
I don't want to tell this is a personal win. This is a win of the people of Telangana. People of Telangana has paid their gratitude to Sonia Gandhi for giving them the Telangana. They have seen the last 10 years rule. They are fed up with the rule. They have decided that there should be a change, and change for a progress, change for a development, change for a gratitude. This is what I could say. I thank the voters of Telangana for having shown the confidence on us. We will restore the confidence.
Do you think that Mr. Revant Reddy should be credited for the victory?
I think the one question everyone's asking is, will Revant Reddy be the chief minister?
There are contenders. There are very, very serious contenders in Telangana. Sitting in Delhi, we don't come to know. But anybody who's been looking at Telangana would be betting equally on Bhatti as well.
No, I followed Telangana very closely.
No,
and I tell
not you. I'm just talking about general perception.
No, but I'm just saying this. The difference between a Siddaramaiah versus a DK Shivkumar or a Bhatti versus a Revant Reddy is that Revant Reddy is not the old world congressman who's come here. I think it will be very difficult for the Congress to deny somebody like that.
If I could just make a small point. Given the nature of the Congress High Command power today, I think it will be very difficult for the Congress High Command to negate the chances of Revant Reddy to become
this
the
I
chief
agree.
minister.
Had they won any more heartland state,
in the campaign, I think there is little choice away than
leeway.
Irrespective of where it is, what the heartland states are, there are caste dynamics. I think there will be deputy chief ministers. It will not be a categorical thing. But at 70, you see the difference in Karnataka and Telangana
but
here,
then,
right?
Then this falls directly into the trap of Congress's
now
own
the
thing,
BJP,
own
let's
doing.
not forget,
See,
I mean,
they
in
kept
Telangana
saying that
also now they are in double digit.
And that's a fascinating story to discuss.
That's a fascinating story.
I believe Shivraj Singh Chouhan is speaking
at the
to
cost of the MI.
I believe Shivraj Singh Chouhan is speaking to the press. Let's shift focus to Madhya
भाई ने
Pradesh.
जो रणनीति बनाई ये उसका परिणाम है। नड्डा जी का हमें मार्गदर्शन मिला। मैं केंद्र को प्रणाम करता हूं। फिर हमने पूरे चुनाव को पूरी ताकत से सामूहिक नेतृत्व में लड़ा। हमारे प्रदेश अध्यक्ष वीडी शर्मा जी और संगठन के बाकी सारे कार्यकर्ता भी काम में लगे। और सबसे बड़ी एक बात और है कि डबल इंजन की सरकार, नरेंद्र मोदी जी का आशीर्वाद सदैव मध्य प्रदेश को मिला, तो केंद्र सरकार की योजनाओं का भी आदर्श क्रियान्वयन हमने मध्य प्रदेश में किया। और मध्य प्रदेश सरकार ने इतने वर्षों में चाहे सड़क हो, बिजली हो, पानी हो, शिक्षा हो, स्वास्थ्य हो, सिंचाई हो, कोई भी क्षेत्र ऐसा नहीं छोड़ा जिसमें बेहतर काम ना किया हो। ये एक दिन में परिणाम नहीं आता, लगातार बेहतर काम करने के कारण परिणाम आता है। और महिला सशक्तिकरण के लिए लाडली बहना योजना एक कड़ी थी, अगली कड़ी लाडली लक्ष्मी, कन्या विवाह, रिजर्वेशन महिलाओं को, बहनों को, ऐसी श्रृंखला थी। उसकी एक अगली कड़ी थी लाडली बहना और अब होगी लखपति बहना। तो उनका भरपूर आशीर्वाद मिला, लेकिन समाज के हर वर्ग का आशीर्वाद मिला। मैं तो सौभाग्यशाली मानता हूं कि जनता का स्नेह, प्रेम और विश्वास हम सबको भारतीय जनता पार्टी को मिला।
We know travel can be confusing. That's why I use travelup.com. Once booked, you can change, cancel.
This show isn't just about news from the southern states. It's one that looks at the rest of India and the world from a diverse South India point of view, because NDTV has always taken the southern view seriously.
The Southern View with Veera Raghav, only on NDTV 24/7.
How often have you turned away from debates that descend into endless fights. We bring you a show where every question is answered, where every debate finds its resolution, where every story finds its conclusion, where opinions collide but facts prevail, where stories unfold with insights and trust. When the noise ends, the last word begins.
What is it about the governance lapses that we've seen in recent times that have been allowed to escalate in the Indian startup universe? And we're not getting into specifics here, but you have boards and you have hefty investors, and you think there's a lot of wisdom sitting around the table, and yet these things happen. Why?
I think very simply, when investors go in, they diligence the company, they diligence the founder, and they conclude that the founder is honest and trustworthy, right? And that is the case in 95% of the situations. Most Indian founders are trustworthy and honest, right? But there are maybe 2, 3, 4, 5% who perhaps are not that clean, right? And those are the cases that have got highlighted actually. And now having said that, I think a lot will depend on what actions investors take after they discover this. And you certainly can't let things be. That's not a good idea in my view.
Is there a middle sort of category of governance lapses, which is, you know, chasing growth at the cost?
Madhya Pradesh, the big focus now, the BJP above 161. This is a bigger number than any pollster had given the Congress below 66. Does it actually mean that it will be their worst performance ever? Deshratan Nigam, weigh in on this. Madhya Pradesh numbers, BJP doing surprisingly well.
Yes, certainly. The united stand that was given, and with the addition of Scindia, I think, and the tribal votes in favor of the BJP out there is something which is in fact going in BJP's favor, and this tremendous result which is there is an outcome of that. Obviously, when the Prime Minister goes and gives the kind of fillip and the boost to the campaign, which I have not seen with any of the leaders in the given times.
Okay, sorry sir, I believe we can go back to Telangana with some celebration shots coming out of Revant Reddy's residence. I presume this is from Hyderabad. Those shots coming in there. Full on, obviously you can see a lot of mics there trying to reach Revant Reddy. As somebody said, Hyderabadi biryani, Bagara Bangan and Gandhipet ka pani. We'll make sure that nobody leaves Hyderabad when you come in there. So we will, those shots of course coming in there. Obviously you were talking, I believe we can go across to Shehzad Poonawala as well. Shehzad.
What a day for the BJP, Shehzad. The Prime Minister expected to arrive at 6:30 for the big celebrations. Nobody, you know, while Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan was deeply contested, nobody gave you Chhattisgarh. Look at the numbers that are coming in from Chhattisgarh now. BJP consolidating at 53, above 50 definitely.
Maria, thank you very much for having me on your panel. Veera Raghav, after a very long time, it's good to see you back into the drill. We were always confident of these three states, Maria, and the reason behind this is that today is an endorsement of Modi's magic of delivery and performance. Modi's guarantee people's lives becoming better, whether it's on the economic front, whether it's on the social welfare front, whether it's on the women empowerment front, and therefore, even after 18 years, today we have a new terminology in political vocabulary, pro-incumbency. Maria, when was the last time you heard governments will be voted back in power in such succession, Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Gujarat, because of something called pro-incumbency? This is the Modi magic. And whereas the Congress in Rajasthan and Congress in Chhattisgarh performed so badly, They make fake guarantees and fake promises that the anti-incumbency catches up with them. And therefore, there are two contrasting models. One is a model where the BJP promises vision and mission for the country. On the other hand, the Congress tried to play the division card. They tried to divide us on the caste lines. On the one hand, you have the performance and delivery of the BJP-led governments under Prime Minister Modi.
Shehzad, will also be that all the Congress contenders and the chief ministers of Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan were making the pitch. In fact, let's listen in to Shivraj Singh Chouhan, the man of the moment in Madhya Pradesh. He's in conversation with Anurag Dwari.
जो काम थे उसकी भी लहर थी।
एक आखिरी सवाल आज बहुत व्यस्त है कि आगे का मार्ग क्या होगा, क्योंकि 4 दफे आप मुख्यमंत्री रहे हैं, अब आगे मध्य प्रदेश का रोड मैप क्या है?
में से कोई अपने बारे में कोई फैसला नहीं करता। एक बड़े मिशन के हिस्सा हैं हम, कार्यकर्ता हैं। हमारे बारे में जो भी काम हमारी पार्टी तय करती है वो काम हम लोग करते हैं।
विपक्ष ने आपको एक्टर कहा, अभिनेता कहा, क्या उसको ये जवाब है? आप ये कहते हैं
ये जनता ने जवाब दे दिया, इसलिए मैं क्यों जवाब दूं?
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। तो मध्य प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान साफ तौर पर कह रहे हैं कि ये पार्टी के शीर्ष नेतृत्व और लाडली बहनाओं की जीत है। भोपाल से अपने कैमरा सहयोगी राजू बाथम के साथ अनुराग द्वारी, NDTV इंडिया।
That's an interesting statement coming in from Shivraj Singh Chouhan, Professor Shastri.
He talks of the people giving a mandate, and I think that's a very interesting interpretation as to who, in his opinion, should be the next chief minister.
He stands tall. I mean, among all the leadership in Madhya Pradesh, it is at least one state where he stands way above everybody else. So I think even if the centre tries to, reach out to the elected MLAs, it will be very hard to come out with any other choice which can match that stature.
About him, his leadership.
There was a time when people used to say Mr. Modi was 3-time Chief Minister of Gujarat.
Here is a 4-time Chief Minister.
Draw a parallel to Shivraj Singh Chouhan saying we have another 3-time Chief Minister, and those times I'm talking about. So obviously someone who's been from the old guard and still holds strong in terms of his...
Yes, let me add one thing.
In the entire process which was being followed by the party during the ticket distribution, there was something very endearing about Shivraj Singh Chouhan. He was not seen as taking on the leadership head-on. Neither was he asserting that my people in my coterie should be given tickets. He was essentially looking at, there was something very right in the way he maneuvered his pace at a time that a chief minister of 4 terms was not being projected as the chief minister. Still, he was someone who kept on saying that this is about Modi and all of us. In the posters, he was behind Prime Minister Modi. But he accepted it.
The fact is, he's a people's man, as rightly pointed out, And once you're a people's man, you read the pulse of the people. And then you take one step backward, one step forward, and that is what a good politician is supposed to be. And that he knows. And the difference between Mr. Modi being a 3-time Chief Minister there and him being there, that Mr. Modi has been helping him out here in becoming the Chief Minister and
just
adding the votes.
Jyotiraditya Scindia is now speaking to my colleague Anurag Dwari. Let's
सुनाया था। अब मैं क्या कहूँ कि अगर मेरी इतनी बेसुरी आवाज हो तो मैं क्या करूँ?
तो सर आज की इस जीत पर क्या कहेंगे? ऐसी जीत की उम्मीद थी क्या?
अनुराग, मैंने आपको कहा था कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी की जीत होगी, और आपने भी उस दिन मुझे कहा था कि मुझे भी लग रहा है कि यही होगा। आपकी सोच और हमारी सोच पूर्ण रूप से सत्य निकली। इस जीत पर अगर मैं किसी को प्रथम मैं धन्यवाद अर्पित करना चाहता हूं तो हमारे मध्य प्रदेश के एक मतदाता को मैं देना चाहता हूं जिन्होंने प्रचंड बहुमत के साथ ये सरकार बनाई है। मैं उनके सामने मैं प्रणाम करता हूं, नतमस्तक हूं और उनके पैर छूता हूं। और उसी के साथ प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का नेतृत्व, जो एक पूर्ण रूप से लक्ष्य के साथ उन्होंने कार्य किया है मध्य प्रदेश के विकास के लिए, देश के विकास के लिए। गृह मंत्री अमित शाह जी और हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष JP नड्डा जी, उनका मार्गदर्शन, हमारी जो हौसला अफजाई हुई, और प्रदेश के अंदर अगर किसी को श्रेय जाता है तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी का एक कार्यकर्ता जिसने खून पसीना एक करके इस पार्टी को इस स्थान पे लाया है, और हमारे मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान जी, जिनकी जन कल्याणकारी योजनाओं ने ये परिवर्तन लाया है, और हमारे प्रदेश अध्यक्ष BD शर्मा जी,
और मेरे जैसे सेफोलॉजिस्ट का भी आपने शुक्रिया।
बिल्कुल आपको भी मैं धन्यवाद अर्पित करना चाहता हूँ।
लेकिन आपको बहुत गालियां दी गई, प्रियंका गांधी जी ने मंच से कहा कुछ और, कांग्रेस के और नेताओं ने कहा। क्या आपको लगता है ये जवाब ग्वालियर चंबल की जनता के साथ पूरे प्रदेश ने दिया है?
मुझे 3 साल जो गालियां दी गई, बद्दुआ दी गई, मैंने सबको अपने छाती पे लिया। मैंने एक शब्द जवाब में नहीं दिया।
नहीं, यहाँ तो मेरी छाती में
मैं आपको अपना भाई समझता हूँ।
अच्छा
तो
सर,
मेरे भाई होने के नाते आपकी छाती तो ठोकी मैंने, और मैंने एक जवाब नहीं दिया क्योंकि मैंने कहा कि 2020 के उपचुनाव में जनता ने जवाब दे दिया। मैं कोई बात नहीं करूंगा, 2023 के चुनाव में जनता जवाब देगी। और खास करके एक नेता जिन्होंने मेरे कद की बात की, उनको अपना कद ग्वालियर चंबल संभाग ने और मध्य प्रदेश की जनता ने दिखा दिया है।
और ये छत्तीसगढ़ में क्या हो गया? आप तो वहाँ भी
प्रधानमंत्री जी का देश की जनता के दिल में जो जादू है, राजस्थान हो, छत्तीसगढ़ हो, मध्य प्रदेश हो, एक इतिहास प्रधानमंत्री जी ने देश के अंदर जो कायम किया है, उसी का एक रिफ्लेक्शन है कि एक एक राज्य में जनता उनके साथ जुड़ी।
आज बहादुरा के लड्डू चलेंगे आसपास ग्वालियर से?
मैंने तो सोचा कि आप मुझे खिलाएंगे आज।
बस एक आखिरी सवाल, मुख्यमंत्री चेहरे को लेकर बहुत सवाल हो रहे हैं।
मैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी का कार्यकर्ता था, आज हूं और जिंदगी भर रहूंगा। उसी सोच और विचारधारा के साथ, उसी श्रेणी में मैं कार्य कर रहा हूँ।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। तो साफ तौर पर केंद्रीय मंत्री ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया अपनी जीत से, पार्टी की जीत से उत्साहित हैं और कह रहे हैं वो पार्टी के सिर्फ कार्यकर्ता थे, मुख्यमंत्री की रेस में नहीं हैं। भोपाल से अपने कैमरे सहयोगी राजू बाथम के साथ अनुराग द्वारी, NDTV इंडिया।
Okay, time for all the chest thumping there in Madhya Pradesh. Maria, I believe Shehzad still with us. We will in a short while play that exclusive interview of Anurag's with Shivraj Singh Chouhan as well, bringing us the first newsmakers here as soon as, I mean, I gather that all of them are there together. Shehzad, is there clarity within the party about who is going to be chief minister in Rajasthan? Because the numbers suggest clear win. And in Madhya Pradesh as well, do we now safely assume that it will be another term for Mr. Shivraj Singh Chouhan?
Veera, we were very clear this time that in all the 5 states, we have gone with the collective leadership principle, and therefore this decision will be ultimately taken by the elected members of the Legislative Assembly. They will get together, there's a party process, the party will initiate that process, and the elected legislators will be entirely free to decide whom they want should lead their respective state governments. So I think that's a decision. I do not want to intervene into their discretionary power in that regard. But having said that, Veera, we must focus on also the kind of narrative that the Congress was trying to dish out in this country, whether it is the divisive cards that they played, whether it is trying to create a culture of saying that our guarantees will work. But the people have rejected both these cards of the Congress party, and they have comprehensively rejected it. In Telangana, perhaps they have not tried out the Congress, and therefore they have given them an opportunity in place of BRS. But even there, the BJP has now, I can see, as per your figures, we are in double digits. We've doubled our vote share. But we must analyze.
Sorry, Shehzad, sorry to interrupt you. Quickly, I just want to know what works in the north which doesn't work in the south?
No, I don't think there is anything that is not working in the south. Of course, you know, the BJP is in its expansion mode. So there are new areas that we are now charting course with. We were only 1 seat 5 years ago. We were 6.5% vote 5 years ago. We have doubled that. So I don't think that kind of growth we've seen in any other place in the north. So we are growing at a faster rate in the south. But having said that, the common factor is that when Modi ji says that he is going to do something, he does it. Whether it's infrastructure growth, whether it's economy, whether it's taking the middle class forward, whether it's removing 13 crore people from poverty, whether it's building houses for the poor, giving them tap water connections. Modi means fulfilling promises, and whether it's south or north, east or west, Hindu or Muslim, whatever caste, people believe that guarantee of Modi. That has been comprehensively
I would
established.
second that, you know, it's about that factor of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And, you know, Professor Shastri and Wayne on this, all the panelists here, when we look at these numbers, it's not without a reason that the BJP went in collective leadership, realizing fully well that in this part of the world, there is that Labharti element, there is that Modi voter, which believes in brand Narendra Modi. There is a huge trust factor which is associated.
In fact, Maria, if you look at the last 2 Lok Sabha elections, our studies show that last time nearly 1/3 of the BJP vote came thanks to the Prime Minister. People said it's because of the Prime Minister that we voted for the party.
Just check.
So in a Lok Sabha election, the role that the Prime Minister plays in getting the party to win is very strong. In state assemblies, it's a mixed picture. In some states, it's been a very effective factor in getting them to power. In some, it has not. And where it is not, it has always been because the rival to the BJP has a very powerful state-based leader and the party does not, and there is a challenge that the party faces.
Okay, there's an important point that I want to add to what Shastriji has been mentioning is, India Alliance meeting has been announced now on the December 6th. But look at the pretext and go 5 years back in 2018. You will see that, whenever Congress grew confident, it tries to trample upon all its allies. Look at what Kamal Nath said. Kamal Nath said, Akhilesh kaun hota hai? I mean, he's a powerful leader.
But at the same time, I think the Congress.
See, this is the overconfidence. This is the overconfidence on which Congress steps into any election and then takes 2 steps back and tries to readjust his allies. The only good takeaway from the India Alliance point of view is that Congress would be a diminished force and it would allow more accommodation or elbow room for the other allies partners to come in and say that, boss, you are not the only, karta dharta of this alliance. We also will have space and say, and that is going to become resoundingly clear.
Yes, there may be considerations on whether that Samajwadi Party alliance should have been worked out in Madhya Pradesh, how
it's
they
more
need
about
to go, but we'll have to wait and see.
How the respect that you carry. Forget about numbers. Everybody has their own regional basis, but the respect you expect from Kamal Nath to a former Chief Minister of UP.
We'll take a very short break. When we come back, what we'll do is we'll go state by state, Maria, because we need to put all the states in perspective. Let's go state by state, go to our analysts and as well as get the newspapers, but a short break right now.
Health isn't someday in the future, it's now. Without GP referrals, cancer testing, scans.
It's the semi-final before the big 2024 final. The high-stakes battles in the 5 states.
Can Gehlot stop the Rajasthan revolving door this time? Or will the Modi magic trump Gehlot ka jadoo?
Is this the toughest political battle for Shivraj Singh Chouhan in 2 decades in MP? Will Kamal Nath turn the electoral tables this time decisively?
This time, the BRS is facing a tough fight from the Congress, and the BJP's high-pitched campaign is making this a triangular contest in India's youngest state.
Baghel Banks on Welfare scheme to retain Raipur for Congress. Which way Chhattisgarh will swing?
There is a tough triangular fight between the MNF, ZPM and the Congress in Mizoram. The big question is, who will romp home?
The fastest results, data crunching, accurate analysis and newsmakers. The battle for states. 6 a.m. onwards, all day, on December 3rd on NDTV.
This show isn't just about news from the southern states. It's one that looks at the rest of India and the world from a diverse South India point of view, because NDTV has always taken the southern view seriously.
The Southern View with Veera Raghav, only on NDTV 24/7.
Welcome to Serious Business on NDTV.
$1 has only secured 0.6 cents of private capital. That needs to fundamentally change.
By mid-century, India's economy will grow 8-fold.
One topic.
When a family comes out of the poverty line, what would be the first asset class they would buy? It's gold.
One speaker.
It's the biggest attack on Jews since the Holocaust.
If you want to control inflation, you need to play the trade policy.
UPI, Aadhaar, all of that, where India is well ahead of the West.
5 trillion is a short-term goal. I would like to see India becoming a $30 trillion economy.
Conversation with Anurag Dwari.
मध्य प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान जी इस वक्त हमारे साथ हैं। सर, बहुत मुबारकबाद। पहले तो आप इस ऐतिहासिक जीत पर क्या कहेंगे?
नहीं, धन्यवाद। हमारे प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी जन जन के मन में हैं, मध्य प्रदेश की जनता के मन में है। उनके प्रति अगाध प्रेम और विश्वास। डबल इंजन की सरकार ने जो काम किए, चाहे वो केंद्र की योजनाओं का आदर्श क्रियान्वयन हो या मध्य प्रदेश में हमने बनाई लाडली बहना जैसी योजना हो, समाज के हर वर्ग का कल्याण किया और विकास किया, तो जनता का आशीर्वाद मिला। अमित जी की अचूक रणनीति, नड्डा जी का मार्गदर्शन, कार्यकर्ताओं का परिश्रम, हम सब लोगों ने मिलकर काम किया, उसी का ये परिणाम।
लेकिन इतनी बम्पर जीत की उम्मीद थी लाडली बहनों?
मुझे तो शुरू से थी। मैं हमेशा कहता था कि हम शानदार सफलता प्राप्त करेंगे, क्योंकि जनता में स्पष्ट दिखाई देता था, एंटी इनकम्बेंसी नहीं थी। या प्रो इनकम्बेंसी थी। कुछ लोगों ने हवा खड़ा करने की कोशिश की थी कांग्रेस के, लेकिन सच तो यह है कि ये सरकार के पक्ष में जो काम थे उसकी भी लहर थी।
एक आखिरी सवाल, आज आप बहुत व्यस्त हैं कि आगे का मार्ग क्या होगा, क्योंकि 4 दफे आप मुख्यमंत्री रहे हैं, अब आगे मध्य प्रदेश का रोड मैप क्या है?
में से कोई अपने बारे में कोई फैसला नहीं करता। एक बड़े मिशन के हिस्सा हैं हम, कार्यकर्ता हैं। हमारे बारे में जो भी काम हमारी पार्टी तय करती है वो काम हम लोग करते हैं।
विपक्ष ने आपको एक्टर कहा, अभिनेता कहा, क्या उसको ये जवाब है? आप ये कहते हैं
ये जनता ने जवाब दे दिया, इसलिए मैं क्यों जवाब दूं।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। तो मध्य प्रदेश मुख्यमंत्री शिवराज सिंह चौहान साफ तौर पर कह रहे हैं कि ये पार्टी के शीर्ष नेतृत्व और लाडली बहनाओं की जीत है।
Right, interesting comments there. We'll keep a close track of how things are going to evolve now. Now you see the political tug of war happens, this discreet politicking for chief ministership happens everywhere. But for the moment, Maria will take us through state by state on how the results are panning out at the moment.
But Veera, quick word on Shivraj Singh Chouhan. He has conducted himself with immense grace throughout these elections. Undoubtedly the leader for whom the women of the state would have certainly voted. So if there is a women constituency which has undoubtedly emerged in these elections, it is for Shivraj Singh Chouhan. Mama Ji, as he is fondly called. So these are the numbers we are looking at now. Total number of seats 230, the majority or the halfway mark is 116. The BJP up 52, just look at these numbers, 161. Congress down 48, just at 86. It's one of their worst performances ever. BJP's phenomenal gain in Madhya Pradesh is because of collective leadership, many would say, and of course that faith in brand Narendra Modi. The state of Madhya Pradesh is the first state that the BJP had won. Historically, a young party which was formed in 1980, and just look at the growth of the party. A state that they have been winning convincingly for 4 terms is a state where they are returning with a pro-incumbency vote. And just look at these numbers again. I'm emphasizing because I think the Madhya Pradesh elections and the victory of the BJP is sending a message of what pro-incumbency means, a new lexicon in Indian politics and Indian political history. Looking at the state of Rajasthan, another fascinating story. One would say that it's a state which follows the revolving door process. It has been the case since 3 decades, so 30 years. And here is the BJP, which is returning to power, but up 40 seats from what it had last time around. Congress down 29, but this number is of course not as bad as several had thought, because this is the number that Ashok Gehlot, the outgoing chief minister, managed on his own. Perhaps their numbers would have been far worse than this, but the BJP victory of 113 again would be seen as part of their strategy in which they went with MPs being fielded on the ground, and at the same time sending a message that when it is about promises, people believe in their promises more than the report card of the previous chief minister. Looking at Chhattisgarh now, look, it's already 1 p.m. and these numbers are only consolidating for the BJP. BJP up 38, 53, the halfway mark in the state of 90 seats. It's a small assembly of just 90 seats, is 46. BJP at 53. Congress down by 33 seats. So Bhupesh Baghel factor hasn't worked. It is brand Narendra Modi which has worked again in the state. Remember, if we were to look at this number, it is the scheduled tribes, the ST factor which has worked for the BJP. The OBCs have voted for the BJP. And just look at this number. This is showcasing that just about every caste and community may have voted for the BJP. So it is very much going the revolving door process. Looking at another state, this is the state that Veera loves to talk the most about, and rightly so, I would say, the state of Telangana. 119-member assembly, the halfway mark is 60. Congress at 65, above 46. But the real story is also that the man who played the role of creating the state in 2014, he is out. He is out with his party now gone below 41. I mean, just look at this number. It's going to be a humiliating defeat, certainly for K. Chandrasekhar Rao. Nobody would have thought about that.
But Maria, I think you need to those images. I think that's Revanth Reddy there,
the man
on
of the
his
moment.
chariot, on his chariot there in Hyderabad.
And what is this chariot?
It's you call it a chariot. Today, anything is a chariot. Anything you move on for Revanth Reddy is a chariot. It's his open, it's his car. He's stepping out of his sunroof in the car. Now, you see, this is a fascinating story on Telangana, but I must put a red herring here. At the moment, the number that you put up, 65, yes, it's comfortable, but 70 would be something where you breathe easy. And as far as BJP is concerned, getting up those 9 seats is also an interesting aspect there. Those pictures coming from Telangana, you know, Congress in Telangana has not seen images like this. The last images in the Congress party of Telangana, Sandeep Shastri, was in 2014 during formation time. And I remember during the 2014 parliamentary elections, the Congress really believed that it was going to win Telangana because it believed that we've created the state at the cost of Andhra Pradesh, which is the remaining part of Andhra Pradesh, which is 175 assembly seats, is the part 21 parliamentary seats. That was the more, that was the 22 parliamentary seats.
The dividend has come 9 years later.
The dividend has come 9 years later, but it's come in the form
But it's not come in the form of the Telangana emotion, but much more in the form of a very strong anti-BRS.
I just want to take a little bit about Revanth Reddy. Now, and I want to put this in perspective, right, to those who don't follow Telangana so closely, which gets clobbered in the midst of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh elections. He decides to contest from Kamareddy only because KCR decides to contest from Kamareddy, because they wanted to send out an image that, look, there is an opponent in place there. There is a challenger in place to K. Chandrasekhar Rao. And until 6 months ago, there was absolutely no sense of question over KCR's might. You know, KCR playing the big role of you know, trying to go and talk to other alliance partners, possible third front. There was so much around K. Chandrasekhar Rao, but I think there was a sense of hubris in the family that set in, saying that, look, you know, our work is good and we will work through. In fact, this was said. And I just want to add one point before I cut across to you, Sandeep Shastri, is that, you know, when people were questioning and when people asked what would be a crucial factor in these elections, it was the Hyderabad versus rural factor that was very important. Urban versus rural. And you look at the results today, in LB Nagar, in Hyderabad, where Sudhir Reddy is contesting, Huda chairman is contesting, and Madhu Yashki Gaud. Madhu is trailing at the moment, the campaign committee chairman of the Congress. He is trailing at the moment. I don't know how the results will pan. So Hyderabad, the men who built Hyderabad often lose the state, as we learnt with Chandrababu Naidu in 2004.
Very true. I think the voter in India is a great leveler of egos and beliefs that people have. Now, I'm going back to Kamareddy, where Revanth Reddy decided to challenge KCR. I think it was important for him to do it for 2 reasons. One, having been made the state party president, he had to lead from the front. And secondly, having been somebody who came to the Congress from other parties, it was important that he assert his presence in the party. And therefore, the best way to do it was to challenge the sitting chief.
Just pointing out.
And the second point you made, I think we are also seeing a divide between rural Telangana and Hyderabad. Hyderabad, Secunderabad clearly sees the BRS having some presence and also the BJP making its presence felt.
Okay, just telling you that Huzurabad, where Itala Rajender, remember Itala Rajender is the first finance minister of Telangana, a man who has been with K. Chandrasekhar Rao since 2003, since the formation of the party. These are people who broke from the TDP, went with KCR, part of the movement. Itala Rajender shifts to the BJP. He is trailing in his constituency, which he won last time, which is Huzurabad. Itala Rajender is trailing again in Gajwel, KCR trailing in Kamareddy. Rest of it, you know, pretty much online, because, you know, you are Harish Rao, KCR is winning Gajwel, Harish Rao is winning his Siddipet, KT Rama Rao, who incidentally, just to point out to you that, you know, KCR names his son Rama Rao because he's inspired by NT Rama Rao. And that's the history of it.
That's an interesting anecdote.
So it's all fascinating. And this is a region, remember, which was once an erstwhile TDP stronghold, which moves to the BRS. The Congress now perhaps for the first time has won as many seats in history. I mean, I'm talking from 2004-9 onwards, as many seats as it's won this time in Telangana, 119. So it's at 65 there. You see it on your screen. So we'll keep talking. You let me be and I'll keep talking only Telangana.
You can actually talk about that victory because undoubtedly it is fascinating. But just look at the numbers of Madhya Pradesh and the neighboring Chhattisgarh. It's a landslide. Madhya Pradesh is a landslide.
Well, there is no question that if you look at Madhya Pradesh, it is a massive drubbing.
Yes.
It is not just a defeat, it's a massive drubbing, which looks even worse for the Congress because the Congress hyped up Madhya Pradesh as miraculously somehow they have managed to reinvent themselves in Madhya Pradesh. Now, mind you, this is something which I always felt strange because after Jyotirāditta Scindia walked out, there is no question that the Congress looked in tatters in Madhya Pradesh. Okay. And suddenly, about 5 months ago, there was this buzz that the Congress is making a comeback. And then it was so much so that there were all these reports that the BJP will lose. Now, Rajasthan is something which is also something which the Congress...
But just look at these numbers. I think the Congress has done better in Rajasthan in comparison to Madhya Pradesh.
True.
And that's even more shocking because here is another state which follows the revolving door. But in the first one, in Madhya Pradesh, the Congress had presented a picture that they had, Mr. Kamal Nath has been on ground zero for the last few years. He had almost recreated that machinery. He had, Zameen se party ko khada kiye is the buzz that was going on. But Meeta,
which is the bigger shocker for you amongst the three? I mean, for some of us who followed the Congress closely know that there was enormous sense of confidence about Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. There was a nervous confidence yet. Rajasthan, of course, it was a mixed bag. Which was the biggest shocker for you at what, 110? Meeta.
Hello.
Meeta, which was the biggest shocker for you? What are you messaging? Who are you messaging?
Namaskar, and yes, I was waiting for my turn. The biggest disappointment was definitely Madhya Pradesh, because if I have to go by the trends that are being presented right now, and though it has not been finally translated to the final numbers and the results, then obviously...
I'm really sorry, Meeta. I'll have to cut across to a Congress strongman, DK Shivkumar, who's in exclusive conversation there in Hyderabad with our reporters there. Let's cut to it now.
Yes, that's a bigger question.
The party high command, it has a process of selecting leaders. We have gone to the election on a collective leadership. The party high command will take its call.
Massive crowds there that you see at Revanth Reddy's residence there. I'm sorry, Meeta, I cut you short. Please go ahead. You can speak over pictures that we are showing on the screens right now of the massive celebrations outside Revanth Reddy's house. But please tell us about which the bigger shocker for you is.
The bigger shocker has to be Madhya Pradesh, because if we go with the internal survey reports that we had,